Now that I am done eating. Alright, what if... Wait, why won't it let me? There's one enemy. Did I even have the sound on when I played this last night? Give me more. My mic is so loud. Oh well. It's not gonna work. I do have a solution actually. I gotta leave the server to test it. What up, Mr. Link? Ink Sands. Alright. The solution would be to put these guys at the spawn. I have enough to put 3 blocks on every corner. Oh, that's a head on a stick. I thought that was like a lily pad. And then we gotta put one over yonder. And also over yonder, and just in case. Hold on, I got you. Wait, I'll just put it right here. Alright, let's see if we can actually kill them. Where are they gonna come out? They could come out either side of that. It's still not working. What a mess. It worked just fine last night. It hasn't been updated or anything. I think I might have killed one of them, but that don't count. I made those too high anyway. And they're probably not strong enough to kill me as soon as they fall through the ground. Wish there was at least an end wave button. Otherwise you gotta find another server that has an empty team or teleport you all the time. Oh wait, that doesn't work. I have to turn DLive back on Restream. Let's see, settings, filtering. Alright, now send that again. There we go. No. That's not even my name anymore. Alright. No. Like really? I definitely need some dudes on that side. Why does this rotate the wrong way? And then I'm gonna put a couple boys right here. I hear echoing. Or don't I? Crap. No matter which way I put those anyway. Alright, let's see if we can get past a single wave. Oh, they're falling right there. Right through the floor. So that's why it doesn't work, because they just disappear. So that's not going to work either. I don't want to play anything else. Turn off your blocking. Sad day. Welcome to Bugs. Wonder if this is copyrighted music. Probably is. There's not even a mute music button. Wonder if this works in this game. Nope. It only worked for that one game.
Springbok says Twitch, SielCagwin seems good.
They're already. Oh. You already accepted. Then you left. Wait, how did you get back? Oh, duh. I can't even see my friend request because it's like shadow banning me. Or shadow banning everyone else. I can't see new friend requests. If I give them something to target, they'll stick around. They're too close together. Oh, they need them that far apart. Right there. Actually, this wave it would be impossible to win, but that might actually spawn. Oh, I should have saved that setup. This is just gonna destroy everything. Maybe it'll work if I lose one. Where did my soldier go? My soldier's falling through the ground too? Right where they spawn? Oops. Oh. Doesn't really help anything if my soldiers aren't next to me. Well, as long as they don't fall through the floor. Oh my god, that is the most annoying thing. What do you mean? Oh my god. Where's the other three? Oh my god, it's working. It's probably because I started wave 21 and it actually worked. To do that every time, it's possible. My soldiers might die. My mic is so loud, but sometimes I mumble. Did I win? I won. Amazing. They're working now. Oh my god, there's supposed to be that many on wave 8? Oh. Does that mean if I get 5 I don't get a soldier? Some decent money. There are only 20 waves, with wave 8's not that small. It's definitely faster than wave 9. And wave 10 I assume is a lot harder than wave 8. A soldier. the reason to save them in the air is so that when you load it over somebody else's base, they'll actually load in. Alright. Load. I'll run too fast. How high are these guys? Perfect. I can't jump over him. Go on this side of him. Crap! Oh, I can zoom out just far enough. I don't want that facing that direction. Alright. Might as well leave the pillars there and we'll know then they won't fall down. Alright, save that. Over slot 1 and slot 2, but I have to wait to save it again. Wait. Oh god. That's not good. Well, that only happens every once in a while. Couldn't make that bigger now. Get back. Oh no. Oh shoot. That'll be fine. Yay, they didn't fall over that time. Just watch me. Record time. It teleports me every time. They won't let you do Gundam style randomly. Gundam style. I think I should expand. Remember to keep some so I can build up. Left. I'm going to build up with those now. 8 would be enough. 1, 2, 3. I never rotate these. Oh wait, I don't have enough for that. Oh well. Let's see. I don't know if it needs to be that high. I don't know if this is, oops, I forgot to put them up there. I don't know if this is even as good. Oops. It's not the right direction. Whoops. Yeah. It sticks out a certain direction. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count when I delete them. I don't know if I want to put it there. You know what? I should just leave that empty. Well, except for this. So now people can respawn. Well, when he falls, you can still respawn under there. There. Save. Should have put those on the inside. I want to look at this real quick, but it's not going to be real quick. What? Why didn't that work? What happened? Oh wait, you only have to wait 3 seconds or 5 seconds for that. Do 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 do. More than 8 of these. Could actually put that in the air. People still can't spawn under that though. Did those fall when you load it? I guess we'll find out. Where'd my save 2 go? Oh yeah, those fall. That's fine, it'll still taunt him. I wanna save this twice. Did rotate and you couldn't see each cross section. What? Kaden. Oh, here we are. Cute. Bruh, that's the stupidest thing you can do. Bruh, are you fucking kidding me? They fixed that, it says. Latest update fixed placing blocks inside players. Fixed it for yourself? I can't even respawn, I'll just get stuck in there again. Fucking idiot. Stand there again? Maybe they can't even spawn way late. You just fall perfectly. Wait for them to load something this time. Are you slow or something? completely unhelpful. There you go. Give me your soldier. Should save all my money up so they'll let me choose a higher wave. I must not have had my sound on yesterday. Looks like we can go to wave 10. Wait. That chick left. Which one of you has that base? There you go. Actually wouldn't really want any of the blocks anchored. You want them to push them towards the center. Oh wait, I was supposed to save my money. I know what that sound means. Oh wait, he was still building. Whoopsie. I heard you building. Eventually they get guns too. Looks like wave 10 is too much. My guys survived. Where's my middle dude? I think that's doable. That's not gonna help. Who has done this? These are probably all pistol guys. Imagine spending your hard-earned crackers on pistol guys. These are all pistol guys too. Get out the way. I am not the one starting waves. Those are too far away from the middleman. 11. YouTube bitching at me yet? Full copyright. I need to bitch at them to take the strike off my account. That was pretty easy. He's standing right there. 16. Where's Jake is at? With your chins and your toes. I don't know if we can do 16. Who the hell started wave 16? Oh, that works. You'll never be dead. Oh, he's shooting the one underneath him. Why don't we do wave 12? Can you use team chat? Fuck off, fuckers. Oh, somebody left. I don't know if this guy knows how to start waves. Per se. I don't know if the two of us can do wave 12. Well, I could probably do wave 12 by myself. Great. Wave 12 could have like 60 people though. See ya. if wave 12 is worth the time. Get a whole pack off of that. Oop, wait for me. This guy seems to... Why don't you save it? Well, he did once. It's more filled in now. Are you ready, kids? Let's try 13. I don't know if he has to like go in order, if he's only on wave 4. Why is that dude moonwalking? I want to remake mine where it falls. If it falls, if my soldiers fall on top of it, it's not gonna be very good. But I can leave little slits for them to fall into. I want to reset to see if you can get out of here, since the block's not anchored. Wave 13 looks a little rough, but I still got all my dudes. But there's more coming. What a mess. Your building is useless. Well, it made it so that these guys didn't die right away. Looks like 13's a bit rough. What's that noise? I mean, you ready? With 12 is so much easier. Turn this down since I'm streaming at the same time. If he can't start wave 12, we can do 1 through 12. Bronco Adventures. Oh, what's up, my dude? It's only 1 p.m. over here. No supper yet. feel like I've been running around outside or something, but I have not. Can't remember what I titled this stream. Oh yeah. Wow, wow, ooh, is very nice. Thanks, man. Put something in the chest again. This time. Let's see. I did that before. Appreciate the donations. Little Borat. Let's see. There's 40 in there. I put 60 in last time. Might as well open that now. Distribute rewards. Wave 14. We can't beat wave 14. Well, we can't beat wave 16. Good grief, man. Why would you do this? Amazing.
Wow, very nice.
Oh, you. Oh, the last sticker I added got deleted, apparently. Oh, wait. The stupid sticker extender extension is telling me to follow this guy to have more space that I already had before, but I think I already follow him. Did we win that? Let him start the wave again. I do not follow that anymore. I unfollowed him apparently. Oh, I probably did like unfollow that guy because I unfollow a lot of people. I don't have all my stickers up anymore. Let us see if refreshing did anything. Oh yeah. I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 39 more stickers now. Ugh. I can't remember the dude's name, but I stole a bunch of stickers from him on the Hake report. Wait, did this guy leave my team? No wonder he didn't start a wave. Mike Lindell. I'm just spamming my channel with the stickers now. Well, thanks for the other diamond, actually. Cat. I used to have that one a long time ago, but I deleted it, and I already had one cat, so I chose that one instead. I got so many Trump stickers now. I was watching my stream and dying in slow motion. Can I beat 12 by myself? Let's see. Can't even see the chat anymore. Because I realized I had two different They Live stickers. Everybody has this one. And then the one with the taking the glasses off and your glasses are still on. Alright, I can close this tab now, I guess. I don't remember who that is. Is that one of the, looks like the Parkland kid. I was gonna say I took so long trying to get this game to unbug, and then now I'm bored of it. Oh. Sounds about right. So I need to go back to wave 8 since I don't have a teammate anymore. Do. I would say do a reverse image search or whatever it's called, but I don't even know how to do that. Ugh. Alright then. Wow. Bruh, why would you do that? Just start a wave. It's not going to do anything. They're too far away from our gunners. Doom, doom. Doom, doom. You watching The Hake Report? Why?
Radical homosexual guy, liberal.
Was this tab muted?
Maybe not as
It's
off
not
the,
supposed
quite
to
as
be.
off the deep end as the extreme left people, but this guy's a radical homosexual guy, Dave Rubin. He interviewed a guy that I used to kind of like. What's that guy's name? In charge of TPUSA?
Make sure.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is off.
Make sure.
And one woman. But I think it's great that you
Not
guys can
5
get
seconds
married,
behind.
talking to the gays, such as Dave Rubin,
Oh,
and
that's gonna lag
adopt
my
children, whatever.
computer a bit.
What?
Why did
How does that
everybody
make any
leave?
sense? It doesn't make any sense. That's evil. He's completely accepting evil.
That's evil.
Because he's what he himself, I do believe, called himself a
Oh no, it's
conservatarian.
broken again.
That is evil. Forget the conservatarians. I think
That's
I
very
interviewed that
loud.
black rhino whom I interviewed.
Why are you
most
so
recently.
loud, Hake?
Jeff Charles. I think he calls himself a conservatarian. So he's a so-called conservative, but he's a libertarian. Libertarians
I could hop on some
tend to be suckers
Sea of Thieves.
on the moral issues.
Dang it, I have to
Total
restart,
suckers.
find a new
That's how we
server
got in
now.
this mess.
'Cause it's broken.
Suckers, and it's only going to get worse because evil doesn't stop. As
Son had to
JLP
fix
has
it.
pointed out, it only grows. You have to deal with it.
But I don't know how else you would
your
fix
own
it
life,
if you
too.
couldn't start wave
Big time.
21 and lose. 'Cause that's the only one that works all
And
the time.
so, yeah, right on. Thank you.
Finding a new server
Immorality has no
sucks though,
consequence.
because
Yeah, they don't think that he's a feckless grifter, says Cheesehead69. Yeah, he said that about Charlie Kirk. Ouch.
it is still 5 seconds behind.
But yeah, it's wrong.
I mean,
It's
it
really
always
wrong.
says that.
I'm gonna get to more
Oh,
of your
well.
calls, guys, but yeah, it's ridiculous. Scotland,
Can I
Ireland.
start this wave?
I saw
don't have any
Ireland
pieces built. Apparently
during
not.
Trump's presidency, the Irish so-called prime minister or president or something.
Lose real quick and then it should work.
Yeah, Upbeck with an A.
Oh no, it didn't
The
spawn.
Irish prime minister, and I don't think that he was really voted in. I
Where's
think he
the
got in
bad
on some
guy?
contingency, and now he's gone already. But he was a homosexual, and he brought his so-called husband or partner or whatever, male thing, in front of Mike Pence's face. And by the way, because Mike Pence is a conservative
Oh, geez.
Christian, or at least portrays one, and he was vice president, and he paraded his so-called husband around in America. What a disgrace, and what an embarrassment, and a moral shame.
One of them will accept me.
So what is up with these once great countries?
My shit's broke.
What a shame. No free speech.
Ooh,
And
that's kind of pretty.
sleazy Joe Biden is going after China and Russia, saying they have to follow international norms. And those norms are the homosexuality and feminism and everything evil. Abortion.
Mhm.
Ridiculous. Let me get to
Wave
Tony in California.
20.
And then I have more callers to get to. Hang tight, guys. Tony in California, how are you doing?
Me.
How you doing, Hank?
Doing well. Doing fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I was
Mhm.
calling to see if you heard about all these assaults and bad behavior on the airline, on the flights. Why is white folks losing their mind behind wearing a mask? But during the time when Jesse Lee Peterson was
Earl.
growing up, they would put a sheet and a pillowcase over their heads and cut some holes in it, and they ain't had no
Hicks
problem with
stood too
that.
out.
So why are white folks going so crazy on the airlines behind a mask, man?
Because nobody was forcing them to wear the masks in the good old days when America was a free country. But now that America is not a free country, there is a crazy situation where they're forcing people to do this or that, and it's the science, the so-called science behind it is sketchy, and it's a big mess.
Yikers,
There's a lot
Batman.
of whites who may overreact
Not anymore.
to it, and it's not just whites. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Well, now, but most white folks on that plane
I don't know.
are acting the fool.
I don't buy it because you tend to lie,
Yeah,
Tony.
they're
You tend to make up
fighting
stuff.
with each other.
You tend to make up stuff on the fly that's not true,Ony. You're a big
All
liar.
you gotta do is look it up. All you gotta
Oh, it's
do is
I
Tony,
don't
not
care to
Earl.
look it up. You're the one who brought the story.
How would you ever
You're
know?
all into it. You just hate white
Where's
people.
my computer?
You just hate white people.
Can't get me in prison
The
for me
vast
doing that.
majority of airline assault stories are black assailants. Maybe not over masks, but most assaults, period.
We talking about the
Wave
mass of
6
this year.
Why are you calling about? Why do you care about masks?
can do at least
Why do you care about
wave
black on black crime? Why Why you want to talk about white
Because-
crime?
Well,
Oh,
9.
wait a minute.
Because
Hey,
black on black
white
crime is
crime.
way bigger.
Why didn't that?
Hey, what about the white guy that
Enter.
ran people over running 100 miles per hour in a Jeep?
Didn't hear
But
about
the
it.
black guy, yes you did.
No,
Oh,
I
yes,
didn't.
You did. You didn't want to talk about it.
No, I
though.
didn't hear about
You
it.
didn't want to talk about it.
I didn't hear about it.
Black guys, they caught his butt.
Clearly you
They
do
caught
care.
him.
Good for them.
And they
Give
did
him a medal.
something to him.
Dummy.
Give them a medal.
He'll never
I think we
forget-
should give all blacks a medal for that stopping of that crime. Would that make you
Yeah,
happy?
because-
Would that
because
make
he
you
murdered-
happy?
He murdered
Hake is on fire.
one white girl.
What do you
and
care about
injured three
murder?
other people.
You don't care about murder. You're just a
How you gonna
poser.
tell me what I-
Mhm.
How you gonna sit there and say what I care about? bro?
Because it's
I mean,
plainly obvious that you only
I mean-
care about coming in here to troll about white people. Well, how bad, out of control white people are.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
Lin
don't you
Yan
troll
I
Chin.
just
about
said we
black
can do wave 9. Of course we're gonna
folks? Don't you
win.
definitely troll about black?
No, we
Y'all
don't.
Y'all get paid to do that. That's what
Nuh-uh.
y'all do to is
No,
to talk
not
about
true.
black.
No.
There's no guns over
You're
here.
lying. You're a liar.
Why are they so bad?
Lin Yan Chin.
So you got kicked off. You the liar because you got kicked off YouTube.
No. Lin Yan Chin. Lin Yan Chin gave a Trovo Colorful chat and asked, does Tony know his band, B-A-N, of Banda? Of Bandai?
Bad ass.
He is a band of Bandai. He and Earl are broken products of the factory. They black.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know
That's
that?
what I'm saying.
Did you know
That's
that?
what I'm saying. That's your promotion. That's your promotion of the day for tickling the white man's ear or the white woman's ear so they can feel better about themselves. And
Is
knowing
that what you do?
hey,
Is that what you do? You tickle your ear to
no,
feel
no,
better about
no,
Bunch
yourself?
of
no,
losers.
no,
Oh,
no,
wait.
what you endeavor
You like to talk trash about white
No, I
people so
can't
you can
start
feel
a
better
wave.
about yourself?
No,
Ugh.
Is that what you do?
I report the truth.
Oh, okay.
I'm bringing on what the truth is.
Hydro gave a
He gave a diamond.
no, he did not give a diamond. You see, you just make up stuff that's not true.
Oh my God, what the
Typical
hell?
Tony.
I'm just saying,
Hydro gave a super chat on
We're in a
streamlabs.com
server
/ the Hake Report, and he
how much
asked
is a
It's
super
already
chat?
broken.
How much is a super chat?
$100.
Mm-hmm.
$100, I'll read it.
Okay.
Yeah, give me $100, I'll read it. Plus, you already owe Brandon M money because you promised money.
When you prove it,
No, you're changing the terms.
Saint Peter is a pope of the Catholic Church.
Okay, Tony. Okay, Tony.
And
I
anything
ought to read
in that
Hydro's
Bible
super
is-
chat, Tony.
Read it. Go ahead, read it.
He asked, does Tony
Is
have
he
his
reading
time of the month?
super chats in the
Are
middle
you
of
on
the
the
call?
rag?
Wow, you saying that on your show? Are you saying something like that on your show?
Let's
That's amazing.
Yeah, I noticed you
do
didn't answer
wave
the question.
21 for the hell of
I
it.
can't believe
It's a
you
yes
said
or
that.
no.
I'm shocked.
It's a
I am
yes or
Make
no.
sure it works.
I am appalled of you saying
It's not
something
loading.
like that with kids listening
It's a yes
to
or
your
no.
show. No wonder you got banned from YouTube.
No, that's not why. It's a yes or no
Well,
question,
I know,
buddy.
yeah, I know why you got banned because you could be reliable.
Just
They
like
don't
his
They don't
mama.
like the truth. It's a yes or no question. He refused to answer the question, Hydro.
Look, I didn't call to speak to Hydro or Super Chat or Blue Knight.
Are you
or
mad about
Point,
the
Tony.
breaking?
Excuse me?
I don't know if I want to ask that question. Is that a bad thing? Should
What is that?
I censor?
What are
Okay.
you talking about, sir?
I don't know. I better not.
Oh my goodness. Let me ask you this though. How is that Capitol Police officer doing that got his eye poked out with a blue light matter flagpole? How he doing? I ain't hear you talking about him.
I hadn't heard about that. What a
Oh,
shame.
you know,
What a
he
terrible
got his-
story.
He got his eye poked out during the resurrection that y'all had.
Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Yeah, the resurrection y'all call it, you know.
Yeah, you
And
call
also-
it you guys call it an insurrection.
Yeah, I mean, I call it a mad mob gone crazy. That's what I call it.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
White folks that lost their mind out there.
Art
and
has
they
a
talk about
question
they
for
gonna
you.
do
You
it,
want to talk
and
to
they
Art
talk
in
about they
Ohio?
do- Who is Art? Come on, Art. Come on, Art. What you got to say, Art?
Okay, Art from Ohio, you're on with Tony. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Hey,
Hey, go for it.
hey. first thing,
I want
so
to
Tony, when you come on here, the
be
difference between me and you, Alpha and the Beta, is when you come on here, why don't you
on with
ask
two
Cake if
people.
you heard about these so-called stories?
I did. If you heard what I said, then I gave him the story. And then
There it
I
was,
Tony,
it
let
disappeared
Art
right
finish his
away.
question. Don't interrupt him.
Okay, go ahead.
You said because you
What?
no you
Duh.
didn't, you said you know about that story, and it's like I hate how you know what hate know about any story.
Yeah.
And then you sit there, and then when you come on, you just you always force and make it seem like he just always talks about blacks and don't talk about whites. He talk about whites just as much as he talk about blacks.
Yep.
So what do he say about white folks? Did he say anything about that guy that ran them 3 people who were running 100 miles per hour with that Jeep?
I need to plug in my
You haven't heard about it.
Yeah, and you claim that I
other
did.
computadora.
You don't want to hear about stuff like that. See, anything whites do, you claim that you don't know nothing about
You're
it.
lying about that. Art just told you that I talk about whites a lot.
What did you say? What did you say today? Anything
No,
about
let
white
Art
folks today?
finish. Let Art follow up
Go
and
ahead.
finish.
Go ahead, Art.
All right, with Tony now, he was just talking. If you was listening to the callers earlier, he was just talking about some of the politicians that he don't mess with or he disagrees with, and that's his own one. That's just some of the.
We're not talking about politicians. We're talking about crime.
Those politicians are
Art and
crimes.
Tony.
Hold up, wrong is wrong. Wrong, right is right, wrong is wrong. If crime is wrong, then dirty politicians is wrong too.
Yep.
Okay, well the thing is,
in your face, Tony.
Wait a minute, ain't no in your face. How
yeah, it is.
You know, that's a typical.
Lucky I know that there's an invisible X in the corner.
You
proud of it.
Your face.
All right.
Hey Tony.
What are all these Facebook notifications? You have memory.
Hey. All right, I need to ask you a question. Are you a monthly dripper?
Request to join.
A monthly dripper? You drip every month through your thumb?
Yikes.
You know what, thank God. I'm not going to leave respond.
All right, that's fair, Art. That's fair, Tony.
I don't know if it
All
makes
right,
a difference.
Appreciate it. All right, Tony. You got put to shame. Nice call. We'll talk again.
Okay.
You want to talk to Brandon M? Brandon
M. It's working. It's working.
Okay, come on, Brandon.
You owe him money, by the way. You owe him money.
Oh, I do? Yeah. So let's put him on the phone there.
Okay. Brandon M in Texas. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Nice. Thank you. I'm fine. Go for it. You're on with Tony.
I want to know why Tony can't distinguish St. Peter, who was an apostle of Jesus.
They unlocked
and
it
was also
for
the first
me.
pope. What don't you understand about that?
In.
Are you that stupid?
Sir, I did say he was a Catholic. He was a Catholic pope. I did say that. And also, James is also Jesus' oldest brother. Figure that one out. Okay?
Well, James is younger than Jesus.
In the story, in the first story of the Bible, they say James is
it's
Jesus'
blocked now.
oldest brother.
What?
Well, how about this? The tombs of Herod, David, Pontius Pilate, and Cyrus were also found. So you lose there too.
Wow.
Where are they located? Where are their grave sites at? Where are
Pontius
they
Pilate is
laying
in
at?
France, and the rest of them are in the Levant, which is over in the Middle East.
In the Middle East, that sounds like Africa to me.
The Middle East is not Africa.
I'm so confused.
To me. Yes.
Are you familiar with the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Of the who?
The Dunning-Kruger effect.
No, I don't know nothing about that, sir.
Okay, well, you're basically the prime example of that. It means you're so stupid
Is
that you can't see
art?
that you're
I
wallowing
thought
in
art
your
was
own
flat.
stupidity.
Okay, can I ask you a question, sir?
The Middle East is Western Asia and all of Egypt.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Mostly
Go
North
ahead.
Africa.
Why? Okay, now.
But it's
I
Western
see you like to
Asia.
throw names, but I'm not gonna stoop to your level. Why are all in America, why are all
Somebody's
the
on
Bibles in the library
Can't see because my
located
picture
in a non-fictional section? Explain
What's
that,
up, everybody?
Well, actually, if you read most archaeologists, they will tell you that the Bible is one of the best references to history.
In your face.
It gives you table of Babylonia.
He did answer the question.
No, he didn't. I
Yes,
said
he did.
the library.
Libraries listen to the archaeologists. Archaeologists tell where you put the library.
Where are they located at? Where are the Bibles located in the library?
Non-fiction.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Oh, guess he's not gonna say.
Money, boy. Hey, boy.
Does he know that nonfiction means not fairy tales?
That's what white folks do. They always want to call you the name.
Fiction means fairy tales. Nonfiction means not a fairy tale.
Look. The Bible is not a true story.
Yes, it
it's
is.
A story.
Nonfiction means it's real.
Okay.
You're a mess.
What you're dealing with, crime, stupidity.
Yeah. Thank you, Brandon M. It's great to hear from you, man.
Well, y'all keep on believing, keep on hoping, and see how far they get to.
Can I say one more
Yeah,
thing?
go for it, Brandon M.
Go for it, Brandon M.
You should. Hey, I'm talking, boy.
Tony, you got to be quiet. Brandon's talking.
Go ahead, Cox.
You should report on the man who was going around and shot 5 people all because they were white.
Who are these people?
I haven't heard that one either. Okay.
Nice. And we got lots of soldiers. I don't know if we can beat 14.
Yeah, we've said plenty about it.
When you find a black man, can I do
You're
that?
a liar, Tony.
When you find a black man to do that.
All right, hey, have a good day.
Thank you, Brandon.
Let me know, y'all. Let me know.
Appreciate you. All right, Tony. Nice
Nobody
talking with you.
cares.
Have a wonderful day.
You as well.
And keep hope alive.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he has a lot of background. I think he's a trucker.
The heck happened there? I don't think we're gonna beat 14, bro.
Gave a Trovo, no, not a Trovo. He gave a super chat on streamlabs.com/the Hate Report. I will get to you guys, back to you guys. Man, that's a relief having been off with Tony, off air with Tony. Jib Jab says with the Trovo, no, Streamlabs super chat, streamlabs.com/the Hate Report.
Oh, great.
Jake, what do you think about the G7 event and Biden agreeing to vaccine passports?
Walk too damn
I did
fast.
not hear that. I did not hear that. But it's not a surprise, man.
Knock this guy down.
It's a
Let's see that.
disgrace. Sleazy Joe. Of course, I mean, I know that the government is colluding with private companies and others to push this forced vaccination thing, which is so
Bro, don't
odd.
build in the middle.
So odd.
Just put your soldiers.
Thank you guys for the chats and support and mess. What a mess. Before I get back, I'm coming up to Samuel in Tennessee next. He has a question for me. But first, let me tell you about, well, for example, the vaccines for children. Can schools mandate COVID vaccines for children? Here's what we know, according to the far-left rhino outlet, Enemies of America Generally, Wall Street Journal. And yes, they are far-left. They attacked PewDiePie, tried to call him a Nazi. Ridiculous. Shared through Revolver News. They have it on archive.
At least he
Schools and
started wave 12.
Districts cannot require vaccines, COVID vaccines. The communist vaccines. They are emergency authorized use, right? Emergency authorized use.
Where's his head?
And there's hospitals that are trying to force and actually they're succeeding so far, force their employees to get it, even though it's only under emergency authorized use, right? Emergency. But they're forcing the people to take it. Some of them don't want to, and they're not. Those who did not come up with a religious or medical reason not to get it, they just don't want to because they think it's experimental.
Are we
They're
gonna
being
win?
forced to or get fired. What a mess.
Oh yeah, we got 100%.
Many education officials, public health so-called officials, which is a scam.
Army left.
And parents believe that vaccinating children, supposedly parents, believe that vaccinating children against the China virus will play a key role in resuming normal life. That's because the people hate freedom so much that they want to do stuff that's...
Put something in there? Why would you do that?
Particularly big spreaders of this. That's one of the things that distinguishes this supposedly from the regular flu, because kids,
Kung flu.
children, spread the regular flu and colds and stuff, I think, quite aptly. They're good at spreading that, but they're not good at spreading this. That's one of the interesting aspects of this China virus. Will K-12, kindergarten through 12th grade students be mandated to get this thing, though, this fall?
Apparently.
Children as young as 12 now supposedly eligible to receive this emergency authorized use vaccine from Pfizer and Moderna, BioNTech. Well, Moderna is not yet. They want to. They're asking for it. Who knows, right? 23% of youths 12 to 15 have received one dose of it. 51% of people are supposedly in favor of mandating vaccines for middle school students. Ridiculous, in my opinion.
Is that Moltres?
They're not really at risk for it. And they're not hanging around people. They shouldn't be hanging around people who are. And even if they don't spread it that much, right? They don't spread it that much. Not as much as people who are actually showing serious
How you doing the R16 enemy?
56% support mandated vaccines for high school students. 61% for college students, according to a supposedly Gallup poll conducted in May. There's close to half don't really plan on it. Of parents don't plan on this. New York City, though, they can force people. City officials can likely require student vaccines, in addition to ones authorized by the state. But the states can force it on you, which I don't really believe in. Vaccines that are established to be fine.
Dio mio.
And it has to be established to be fine, because the establishment itself is kind of untrustworthy. They've lied to us before, right? But there are 10 vaccines in California's approved list, added through the state legislature. And they allow the health department to bring in others too. Bring in additional vaccines
right
to required by law. So they're forcing it.
I've been doing things, so you put some there.
Sometimes a little sketchy.
Why would you put your block wooden block there?
Sketchy. Terrible. Let me get to Samuel in Tennessee. Samuel, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Hake. Sorry to make you repeat yourself. I haven't heard what caused the strike.
Oh, yeah. Last Tuesday, a week ago, they is the video that was deleted. I think I found out last Friday. Was it Friday or was it this Monday? I forget.
You probably can't
This past Friday, I discovered that I got a strike, and they deleted my Tuesday video, and they told me content that advances false claims that the 2020 election had widespread fraud or glitches or whatever that changed the outcome of the election are not allowed on YouTube. And I do recall making some statements. I don't know if it was Tuesday. It might have been that Tuesday. I do recall making statements about Trump and my suspicions about the election. So it was related to that, according to them. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, we're just doing what we can. We're getting narrowed. We have a narrow path ahead of us, don't we?
Yeah, it's always straight and narrow. And
13 is like.
And YouTube is great
for
getting the word out to more people. Yeah. So I would like to be on it. It wasn't necessary for me to make whatever comments. So
yeah.
I can.
Did you hear that, YouTube? You repent. Okay?
I'm not kissing up to YouTube, but yeah. I mean, some of this stuff you can pick your battles and decide what you want to be on.
Yeah.
But if I got to be too big, they wouldn't even need that excuse. They would just come up with some other excuse. They've done it to bigger people, more effective people, who are like huge. They just take them out.
Wow.
So it's a combination of truth plus effectiveness. is their rigor for taking people out.
I hear ya.
Yeah.
I thought I'd share. You remember I was talking about? It was probably 3 weeks ago. I was talking about genetics. How no one can really tell if they're really a Jew or not. You only know relationality by genetics.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, because essentially, there's no gene that shows that you're anchored to any part of the soil. Now, one thing that can and used to be able to show a person's region of food consumption was the enamel. And I remember Art brought it up, but I don't think he understood it right. So this is what happens. So carbon usually has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons.
Uh-huh.
And all plants, all organic matter have carbon. That's what makes them organic. And whenever plants are in higher altitudes, there's less atmosphere. So alpha particles, which are coming from the sun, are a 2-neutron particle. And what they do is they irradiate all, like rocks, everything, plants. And what happens is they, when an alpha particle hits the carbon of a plant at a high altitude, and it varies depending on altitude. Each altitude will have a topographical signature. What happens to that plant is it has a high, what's called a carbon-14, and that's how they do certain kinds of dating.
Yeah, I've heard that that's not exactly reliable, too, by the way.
That's true, because radiation rates change over time due to solar flares.
Okay.
So it gives reason for a young Earth hypothesis to be true.
Okay.
Because of the varying rates of solar radiation. Solar radiation is not a steady, linear curve. It goes in cycles, like a cycle. Okay. Anyway, so long story short, when let's say some guy from the Bronze Age eating a lot of vegetables and wheat, etc., from a certain area in Italy, we can assume he's from that area because of the carbon-14 mass, which again, it's not a perfect one-to-one topographical signature because radiation rates change. But that's just, and because the enamel is the strongest substance in the body, it's preserved in the skeleton and doesn't degrade easy. So you can look at that. But ever since man has been importing food from different regions of the planet, Earth, it makes that harder. And so around the time of Abraham, I mean, you could read in the Bible story about Joseph. He's getting wheat from Egypt. People went to Egypt to get wheat. So you can't. So that basically nullifies the one last way of looking at someone's skeleton and saying, "Oh, this guy is, from Palestine or from Iraq or the city of Ur." So basically, the Bible truth that we're wandering tabernacles, and that God has a chosen people of those that obey and follow His custom of faith, is true. It's irrefutable. And what we have now is we have an imposter class that, whether or not they had relation to Abraham or not, there's no way to verify. So that nullifies the Hebrew roots. It nullifies the black Israelites. It nullifies the fake Jews, and is not real right now. And
so this carbon stuff means that they're lying.
No, it shows.
Or it says that you don't know.
It makes all
don't
data.
anchor that.
You can't say for sure or for not sure.
So you can't say then that they're fake Jews or not fake Jews. You don't know either.
Well, I can say
it's
they're
unverified.
Fake Jews because, I can say they're fake Jews because a Jew is one inwardly, and all the people that
right,
were
but physically, their physical, like their heritage. You can't say for sure what their heritage is.
Well, see, that's getting into replacement theology. So
but you
I don't
can't say.
You're
saying that you can't say for sure that they are the descendants of Israel, or not. or the descendants of Judah are not.
I can't say the Christian today who believes is not either. I can't say if anyone is or is not.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So, but God showed us through the Word, and even earlier in the Old Testament, circumcision was of the heart.
Correct.
About circumcising your ear for what you hear. So it was always a type of giving up the flesh for God's purpose. So, anyway, and then the Bible also tells us not to heed endless genealogies and Jewish fables. So there's a lot of.
So it's kind of useless to. It's kind of pointless to get into arguments about whether they're truly. That's their true heritage or not.
Correct, but because so many people are confused
Don't
and
be
fooled,
standing right there this time.
I'm making this counter argument so I can bring people back to neutrality. It's like the whole homosexual thing. Yeah, we know it's wrong, but if we don't speak up and point out how it's wrong, how can people know?
I mean, so people know that it's wrong without even having.
Yeah,
anybody
maybe
to
that
explain.
wasn't the best example, but it's one of those things. You know what I'm saying is, just because there's 2 points of view doesn't mean the center is the truth.
Right.
And if you're too far over one side, you have to, shepherd people to the other side. So that's why, and I'm trying to help the Black Israelites too, because it's not about.
I agree. People shouldn't.
It doesn't.
I don't even really agree with Art saying that he's from the tribe of Judah, because
man.
It's a mistake to get into that identity
it
stuff.
Is.
Just don't jump to conclusions about stuff that you read in the Bible that sounds like it's what you were from. Don't get into that. Yeah. Just
and
I love
faith
Art.
Down.
Art's cool. But,
Art's a good guy.
Yeah.
So, but this is the process of helping those in meekness, because if we get fierce and angry with people, we can't help them. It's the Holy Spirit is the one that's going to teach them. So we're just trying to help Art. We're just
what does meek mean?
Meek means, I guess it means humble yet strong in the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't done strong concordance study on
I use Google, which is evil, and their dictionary definition claims quiet, gentle, and easily imposed on, submissive. Whoa.
Yeah, that's what they want us to be, easily imposed on.
Yeah. What a mess. Well, I appreciate it, Samuel. Interesting.
Hey, you're welcome.
Take care, man.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. There is a worker shortage. Before I get to the next callers, hang tight, guys. I got snow in the Bay Area. Hey, he called back. That's cool. He's asking me a question about somebody else. But I will get to you, man. Hang tight. There is a worker shortage. I told you guys. Actually, I was talking with our friend. I think of him as a friend, I think, of the show, anyway. That guy from Texas. He called in and said that Governor Abbott, Greg Abbott, is making a political mistake, and all these other Republican governors are making a political mistake by ending the extra unemployment benefit, COVID unemployment benefit from the federal government, cutting that off early, 3 months early, he said, just to score points against the Democrats. And I argue that it's not just to score points against the Democrats, because there is actually a worker shortage. People staying home because they're getting paid more to stay home than to actually go to work. I got this actually, it's the first time in a long time. Are you proud of me? I haven't been referencing Drudge. I used to be James Drudge Reports Hake of Hake News. And now I haven't hardly been referencing Drudge. I use mostly the Epic Times and the Far Left Female Outlet, La Skim, and Communist Nonsense Network, CNN. And sometimes Revolver News, excellent source, Revolver News. They are both a source and they are an aggregator. They have their own stuff too. And they come up with some good stuff. Check it out. U.S. Chamber, that might have been what I referenced actually, back in last Tuesday. I might have gotten in trouble for referencing Revolver News. Thanks a lot, Revolver News. Isn't that run by? Is that Darren
Can't
Beatty?
see that at all.
Darren Beatty. Isn't that guy Jewish? But anyway, I like Darren Beatty. He's cool. He said that Jesse Lee Peterson should be in the Trump administration on
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi.
Yeah, decent, really decent.
5 Mississippi,
anyway,
6 Mississippi,
he seems
7
like
Mississippi.
U.S. Chamber CEO
Why do I have
Suzanne Clark.
8 seconds of latency?
Jeez, is that Chamber of Commerce? They have a female president and CEO? Pathetic. Suzanne Clark told Axios on HBO, by the way, she says, the Biden administration is easy to talk to, easy to reach, professional. But she calls the worker shortage tragic. Hard to know what these females and their emotional language about this stuff. But anyway, the world's biggest business lobby is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, right? They're having success under sleazy President Biden on promoting so-called infrastructure spending. Commie buzzword. I told you the capitalists are communists too, because they're immoral. They promote immorality. All of these huge corporations promote the pro-gay stuff, which is anti the human beings who are dealing with that issue, because it's for their own self-destruction that they're promoting. What a disgrace. She took over in March as the first woman CEO of the Chamber's 109-year history, Chamber of Commerce. She said the worker shortage is a top issue because there are these communist shutdowns, all in the name of protecting people. So female-minded. So female-minded. The shutdowns have been counterproductive. They were unnecessary. But they make excuses. And they're holding this vaccine in front of you in order, that's the way forward to reopen. What a mess. What a mess. But indeed, there is a worker shortage because people are getting bribed out of working. The post-vaccine summer is off to a slow start, says Axios. Labor shortages, scrambled supply chains, simple logistics, making it harder for the whole range of businesses to meet demand.
HDMI cords.
So, what a crazy situation. Let me get to Snow in the Bay Area.
It'll work with my...
How are you doing, Snow?
Other computer.
Oh, hey, are you on speakerphone? Come off speaker.
That barely works anymore.
We'll get him ready. Daniel, can you get to Snow? He's not ready. Never, ever, ever be on. It sounds like he's at work, almost. Working now? By the way,
okay,
speaking of enemies of the people, this is
I got so many,
and Reuters also far left
wait,
enemies
5.
of America.
There's somebody else on my team.
The USA is going to take steps against white supremacists and militia groups.
There's only one of the cords.
The FBI, according to CNN, Communist Nonsense Network, warns that QAnon digital soldiers may become violent.
Doesn't look like an HDMI cord. That's garbage. I didn't get any coupons this time.
5 months after the so-called attack at the U.S. Capitol, it was not an attack. The Biden administration on Tuesday will unveil steps for federal and local officials and social media companies to battle national security threats posed by imaginary white supremacists and militia groups. Militia groups have been most militia groups are very self-disciplined, orderly, and self-constrained, restrained. Eric Garland, the so-called Attorney General for the United States, he's the head of the DOJ.
HDMI with Ethernet.
And they're pushing that madness. You really think that DeSantis and Trump would be acting like this? No, sir. But of course, with the DOJ, you never know, because the DOJ is part of the deep state. Let me see if Snow is ready in the Bay Area, California. What's up, Snow?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. You sounding far away
And
again.
then I have this adapter.
Speak up loud and clear. Stay close to the
How do you
receiver.
open that?
Don't be on speakerphone. No Bluetooth. No headset. No ear pods. Stuff like that. All right.
So, I noticed that you have an issue with homosexuals.
My friend is on Team 1 now.
Think that you notice?
Well, you question why they're homosexuals, and you also call them evil.
I don't question why they're homosexuals.
So, why are you? What's your issue with homosexuals?
Lots of things are evil.
It's wrong to be that way. They shouldn't.
There's only one truth.
They wouldn't be promoting it as right if they knew better.
My question is, why do you care about what someone else is doing in their bedroom?
Sorry for all the weird packaging, unpackaging.
So that's my question to you.
I don't care what they do in their bedroom. If they kept it in the bedroom, then we wouldn't even know about it.
True.
Okay, so you have a problem with them showing signs of affection towards each other in public.
They're
Among
promoting
other things,
evil.
yeah. They are very in your face about it. It's wrong. It sets a bad example.
Do you have a wife?
No, I do not.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, I do not.
This is
Are you
dumb.
that they have somebody and you don't?
No, I am not. But they don't have somebody. They don't have.
Is that a guy asking all these
They do not.
female
They're quote-unquote
questions?
somebody, but they do not have somebody.
Okay, so do you have problems with them getting married?
Yeah, they can't get married unless they marry a
Hate this
woman.
bag.
Actually, they can. It's
No, they can't.
protected by the
That's not actual marriage.
Supreme Court.
Made
It's not
in
actual
Vietnam.
No, it's not.
It's called a marriage.
They got
Sorry.
What, it's
shitty.
called a marriage, but it's not a marriage.
What is HDMI-F?
No, it's
Why?
not.
You think you're just, so you say a man and a woman
Alright,
are the
F
only ones
fits.
who get married, right?
Correct.
So what did the Supreme Court decide?
The
The Supreme
adapter.
Court made up an imaginary
Mini
thing.
display.
Not imaginary.
Of
Yes,
course,
it's
words.
imaginary. It's
I'm
not real.
gonna save that thing.
What's that?
Not protected under Supreme Court?
No, it's not protected under the Supreme
I
Court.
don't know
They're
what I
protecting
would do
evil,
if I
but it's not a real
extended
thing.
my
Okay, even if they're protecting evil, is it
little
still being
computer
protected by
to
the Supreme Court?
I guess so. If you want to pretend,
Big
if you want
screen.
to pretend along with the
It's
Supreme
not
Court,
really pretending because if
use
it
it
is
for the
brought up by the Supreme Court,
webcam.
it's
the
actually
Supreme
law.
Court. No, it's not. The Supreme Court does not make laws.
No, but is it protected by the Supreme Court, which is protected under the law?
No.
So what are they doing? It's just
I gotta make
imaginary.
sure.
Yeah, it's
fake.
imaginary.
So that's
It's
I'm gonna
paper.
hook it up
It's
to my
supporting.
laptop
It's
to do
supporting
that.
self-destruction and evil. It's a disgrace
How is it
It's a-
self-destruction?
because it's a disservice to it's a disservice to tell people they're right when they're wrong.
So you're only allowed to get married because you're a heterosexual male?
Homosexuals, they can repent. They can repent and marry.
Hang up on this fool.
So you're the only one that can get married because you're a heterosexual?
No, they can marry too. Homosexuals can marry too. They can repent and become straight and get married.
So what you're saying is by praying to, I don't know, Sky Daddy, you
Oh
automatically
god.
win something? Oh, the
Huh?
right to marry.
What are you talking about?
So if you repent or
Yeah, by
pray
being
to a Sky Daddy,
normal.
somehow you believe in a religion,
Oh, are you one of
that
those?
you're automatic
You're not a Christian?
one of those. No.
Were you raised
Christian at
a,
all.
were you raised a Christian?
Sure. Didn't mean I had to be one though, did I?
No, you definitely don't have to.
You don't have
Why are
to
you
be
so
any.
bitter? Why you hate Christians?
Get him, Hake.
Snow,
Say that again.
why do you hate Christians?
I don't hate Christians.
But why
I
do you
think
hate
you
them?
guys are,
Why do you hate
I
them?
think you guys are easy manipulated.
Just gonna
Oh, like gays or not?
make noise when I play.
Gay
Why do you
I
hate-
can't
why
get
do
it
you hate
out.
Christians?
Ugh.
It's not a hate. You
Yes,
guys
it
are
is.
just
You
easy-
hate
Alright, I
Christians.
guess that works.
Okay, if you believe in a
I'm
religion,
gonna forget
you put
that I
yourself
have that
in a
now.
box. You basically are told what to say,
For
what to
that
do,
later,
when
I
to
guess.
do it. So
Is that not how gays act? Is that not how gays act? They're told to, vote Democrat,
Oh,
be
what? By
and
who?
support imaginary
Who's telling
marriage, and gays don't even believe in marriage.
who's telling them that? What do you mean gays don't believe in marriage?
They
If
don't
didn't
believe in
it,
marriage.
Why did they fight for
They
it?
want to feel
marry the
like
ketchups.
they want to feel like they have this tradition and family and stuff because they want a family.
They fought so hard for equal rights.
Oh
Equal
God,
rights. That's not what
they have equal
are.
rights.
What's equal rights?
So you're allowed to get
What's equal rights?
Hang up on this fool. Your
What's
show's
equal
over.
rights?
Well, I don't want to get into the 1962 era when they...
Because you don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you think
don't know what equal rights even means. It's just a buzzword.
It's not a buzzword.
Yes, it is. It's a buzzword.
Como se juega este juego?
There are people like
How?
who fought for
Harvey Milk supported evil.
He didn't
To
support
play this game.
What made him delusional? That he wanted to be able to have equal rights?
For one thing, Harvey Milk was a radical homosexual. Who
join me.
He wasn't radical. He was just a homosexual.
That is when you're openly, brazenly
Juntos
pushing on the rest of
me.
society. That is a radical homosexual.
Yes, but I don't.
Harvey Milk, and they're celebrating that.
Yes, but that
talk about
we
hold on, Snow.
solo
Talk about pushing that on
have
kids.
to know.
He pushed that on kids. What a sick man.
There are
Is he
some
joining
What a
here?
disgrace.
come out because it's people like you.
No, that's
Oh, I
it's
say
not
come
good.
here.
It's better to stay in the closet.
Oh, they can.
You
It's
should.
better to stay in the closet.
Yes, you
It's
should
better
stay
to
in the
hide
closet.
who you are
That's not who
rather
you
than
are.
be who you are.
That's not who you are.
Ayúdame.
That's what you think you are because you got into
You
something.
are?
That was
It's
easy.
what you think you are, but it's not who you are.
So
It's a
not
false
who
identity.
Gracias por la leche.
false identity.
Because it's not who you are. Children are not into that stuff.
Who they are.
And when you're old, you're supposed to get over that stuff. It is a
Oh,
temporary
Are
perversion.
you saying is it a mental disease?
No, it's a spiritual death. It's not a
Spiritual.
This
and it
guy's
does
not
affect your
good.
It
mind.
doesn't matter.
It does affect your mind.
Why do you keep basing things off religion? You base
It's not
things
religion,
off of
it's
a book.
reality.
Mm-hmm.
You base things off of a book.
No,
You know, there are
it's
more
based in
facts
reality.
inside of a phone book
It's not
than
off
there
of a
are- there
book.
are in the
It's not
Bible.
off of a book, Snow. How many
Snow.
babies how many
Beta.
babies can homosexual men have with other homosexual men together?
They don't need
How many
to.
babies
That's
do
not
they
what
make?
they're asking for.
That's nature. That's not from a book. That is
Okay,
common sense.
They're not asking to have kids.
Yes, they are.
You can adopt if they want.
No, they should not.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Why?
because they're misguided.
You're one of those people that
They're
thinks that
misguided and they're
appropriate-
misguiding other people.
How are they misguiding people? Giving a
He already
child a love
told you
It's
that.
not love.
That's
They don't have love. When you're
They don't
promoting
have love.
evil is right. That's not love. Anyway, we're overtime.
promoting evil.
We are overtime. I appreciate the call. Are you into that stuff or something?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to.
No, I
Don't answer
actually,
it. Don't
I
answer.
actually just fight for their rights. I think everybody.
No,
should be
that's
on
not
equal
rights,
footing.
man. You're fighting for the wrong thing. Anyway, Snow, you can call another time. I'm overtime. We got to end. Take care, man.
Take it in.
Take care. All right. All right, guys. This has been the Hake Report. Sorry, Chris. We were like 2 minutes past. What in the world? TheHakeReport.com for my stuff. RebuildingTheMan.com for the Church with Jesse Lee Peterson stuff. And you can find the men's conference information there. Women's Forum in 2 days, Thursday, 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles for ladies only. Men's conference is for men only. Annual
There we
men's
go.
conference, the 11th annual. JesseLeePeterson.com is another website that you can
Bruh, why would you
that
stand right
information. Thanks,
there?
guys, and take care.
That's the sound from Star Wars game. Want some money? Oh man, it's all over. No! My chicken legs keep making me go faster. Oh no, it's broken. Son of I should probably play something else. Find something to watch now. Alright, that's what I did last time. Place a single block. It didn't load again. This is annoying. Alright, let's find something else. Grab my daily and crafter to survive. Superhero tycoon. Alright, let's see. And just watch the whichever replay. Whoops, it was already replaying.
Apparently, to some women, is you can't even say that.
Right.
Well, what made you think she loved her husband and her child?
Refreshes.
Because she speaks and behaves that way.
And how about her action? Does her action show that she loved her husband and her child?
Are you so loud, Jesse?
I think so, yeah.
What is it about her action that says she loves her husband and child?
The hour-long video about...
She's promoting...
Hour-long call about... Candace Owens. This is gonna be yesterday's. I don't really want to miss that either. The tornado is coming. Oh, I forgot to open the chest. 12 minutes. I don't want to be here that long. Oh, forgot my exploit.
Understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find
It'll be till like 6 o'clock for those who do anything for me. Hey, I gotta fix this again. It resets itself if I don't click that.
I can't hear anything. I didn't hear the intro. I don't hear myself. It's not like I'm not turned on.
That Monday show?
Hold on.
Touch
the... No, it's dead. Take me off.
So, 10 in that. 10 in that. Pride Week. grief, my mic's so loud.
On this side of
filters. Less gain. Dead so dead. Oh, jeez.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Sorry about that little
YouTube
running around in the start there. It was something on an hour in for sure. But all is well. And good morning, y'all. Welcome to the show.
12
You can get
minutes.
involved by calling 888-7753.
Let's see here. What if I don't? That paused itself. What up again, Ink Sands? Oh wait, I was gonna watch YouTube in the first place. Let's see. Why is this so laggy? Alright. That's what we want. We want to pop it out. We want to set it to, God, it's so loud. 1.25 speed.
It's not funny. Okay, fine. What about this?
Play what? Close one of these tabs.
Louder with Crowder is brought to you in part by .com. Support the fight.
Is that still too loud?
Merchandise at the shop. It's a great conversation starter and irritates all the right people. .com.
Should be okay. I just gotta turn down my PC's speaker volume. Again, I will switch game in 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Where's my chat? I don't even know what you said twice. Q-Clash. What is a Q-Clash?
That's called the guilty slur.
It's
a guilty slur because I went to the gym today, meaning I drove, and I sat in the parking lot, I looked at it, and I said,
Shame.
And I went back home.
Not today. I do that, but with Pop-Tarts.
You look at those are your Everest?
Yes.
Yeah. That's more than Kamala Harris has done with the border. So, hey,
This
you're
is
doing
wrong.
well.
Right away to the
Today.
politics with
Sorry.
Gerald. He knows where our bread gets buttered. Glad to be with you today. We're going to be talking about a lot about Jon Stewart, and of course, and Stephen Colbert. He went off track. He went against the narrative, and Stephen Colbert was not happy. Then again, he's a shill for Moderna. And or Pfizer. I never want to hear him bitch about Big Pharma again. We're talking about how Democrats actually don't pay taxes, just so you know. We'll be going through Biden, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Geithner, Kerry, just to see who's really abusing those loopholes. And what else are we talking about today? We're talking about
stuff in
some stuff
really
in Georgia
Yeah.
that relates to the election.
Are you
which we have
architect
to be
real
really,
life?
really careful with. And by that, I mean not express an opinion that YouTube deems un-YouTube friendly.
Right, or maybe even quote.
I don't want to say wrong because they never said we were wrong.
Right.
They just said you can't say that.
Right.
And then Alanis Morissette got slimed. Okay, we have Gerald here. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
You know, I'm okay. I could have been better if I'd have gone in and done some curls for the girls. How are you, Quarter Black?
I'm doing good. What's going on?
I don't know what that was.
What is?
I have no idea what that was.
He has no idea either.
Okay. All right. Move on. He sounds like what's the name of that guy who's in all the Quentin Tarantino movies? He was in that film Relic.
Wait.
Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore.
He has a little bit of
Sizemore.
Yeah, that's his black voice. It's Sizemore.
Sizemore.
I have no idea. And
He's
Dave
from Hartford Woods, Michigan.
Dave Landau is here.
Ahoy.
How are you, sir?
I'm
Well,
good.
you have a show coming up in Buffalo, right?
I do. Not this weekend, but the following weekend.
This weekend it's sold out. So we're sorry. Of course, guys. Hey, look, hit the notification bell if you're watching. This is a podcast. It's a live show. You can watch it Monday through Thursday.
guys,
10 a.m.
tell
Here on
me.
YouTube, Blaze,
Away
Mug Club,
from the
or
room.
at Rumble. Okay. I forgot. Cultural Appropriation Month is
Thinking you're
Thursday.
after me
We're hitting up
this
Greece.
Nice.
Greece.
Yeah. So we're going bankrupt?
So lots of hairy men and hairy lesbians.
Discus.
Lesbos. Did you know that?
Yes.
Lesbos. That's where it came
That's
from.
right. That's right.
Also, it was where
Lesbos.
there was the first Bass Pro.
There are no gnomes after
They
me.
speak Greek.
They
and they
speak
say,
Greek.
oh, we are going to go to REI to buy new abacus and plaid shirts. I have no idea. That does not sound Greek.
Sounds a little Russian.
Okay, before we move on to Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, it's time for our former vice president.
Accept my
to address
friend
this week's
request, you prick.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black.
In a weekend interview, Vladimir Putin laughed at the suggestion that you had called him a killer. Is that still your belief, sir, that he is a killer? And I'll continue the trend if you don't mind of asking a second question. Do you believe if he does agree to cooperate, then
Looks
what
like
kind
a
of a challenge
hospital.
do you find yourself in? How would you ever trust him? And if Ronald Reagan said trust but verify, what do you say to Vladimir Putin?
To answer the first question, I'm laughing too. They actually.
Is that guy supposed
look,
to be
I mean,
president?
he has made
Jesus
clear that.
H. Christ. What happened?
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black.
Oh,
Yeah, the
jeez.
laughing was just actually his remaining blood clots escaping his body.
Yeah. Putin was,
And he just shut
Maybe
down.
it'll clear him. Still a big blue spot.
Wow, that is. We're all gonna die.
I can look
Can
up
you imagine being
Clash
Putin looking at that like,
Bomb.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be
we
a
have
cakewalk.
one.
Did you hear what Biden said about you? No. Yeah, because he didn't.
Yeah, nothing. 10
Yes.
seconds of, huh?
I will use my judo black belt to fold
Yeah,
his
couldn't
clothes
play.
with him inside them.
He just.
More.
He just saw the light.
He just.
He was like, I look,
He had a choice to make.
He just saw the light,
Still
only he saw Peter going.
Hyphen.
You know, stay back.
Not on the list.
No, I think we have a spot down there.
later going down.
Hey, by the way, did you know that it's Xi Jinping's birthday?
What?
Yeah, he's 68 years old, so happy birthday,
Oh.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
Yeah, give him there we go. You have to be careful with that.
Yeah, I got to be real careful.
Okay, so this is my question to you. We're going to be talking about a lot today. You know, Jon Stewart, I genuinely, and I used to get into it a lot with actually
There
John
are
Nolte
so
when he was
many
over
Q
before Breitbart
classes.
was big Hollywood.
Yeah.
And him and I and Andrew Breitbart used to run this. He thought that Bill Maher was
First
funny
person
sometimes, and this is before Bill
class
Maher sort of transitioned a little bit now. Where he's a little more
action
moderate.
Right, yeah.
And he thought that Jon Stewart was there. I've
It's
always thought that
free to
Jon
play.
Stewart is among the best of them, and I've said it on air, and I've gotten in trouble.
Looks
Yeah,
pretty fun,
We've
right?
discussed it. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And I want to know what you guys did. You used to watch
Mocking,
Jon Stewart? I know
what's his
I'm not
name?
saying that you should get your news from Jon Stewart, but if you have to rate late night hosts, where would you place him? I think in that
Science
genre,
kid.
he was the best to have ever done it.
Yeah, he was funny. I think he said something about Obama. He's like, I'm not sure if he's playing 6D chess or if it's just kicking his ass. You know, like, and I was like, that's funny. You can poke even though you agree with the guy more.
He's always been
There's
funny.
no
I thought Stephen
clowns
Colbert
after
was
me
funny.
either.
Used to be.
When he
Yeah,
was doing the character.
What
He
the?
was genuinely very funny. We were discussing this earlier. He was a great comic. He was a great improviser, and he had this really great ability to insult the right and left.
She's
Right,
got
because he could insult the left
3
through the
sets
perspective of the
sets
right that he was
three
also
after.
making fun of.
Yes.
It was this perfect moderate,
Who's that
and now
guy?
it's just.
Who's to
And
say?
he also
Who's to
irritated
say?
John Stossel incredibly when he was on, which I should have seen coming when I did my long form interview with John Stossel. You know, he would say something to John Stossel, and John Stossel would say, "Well, I know that your little audience is going to laugh, but really, when we talk about tax evasion, you're like,
He's a little prickly. It's kind of a mistake.
The guy ran over for his guests' applause every show for years. That's hilarious to me.
So that being said, and this is what I think. I think that the
I don't
emasculating
want to
of
tell
all
anybody
men,
else
the
the
emasculation of men makes male
exploit.
comedians unfunny.
Yeah.
Because it makes them women who are inherently unfunny.
Oh, jeez.
No. I think that women.
You walked right into that,
when
Gerald.
women are funny, they're talking from their point of view. Right. That's also why Amy Schumer and stuff was like, my cooch feels like a barnyard animal. Right. It's like, it doesn't really work for me because you're trying to be a guy.
Yeah.
But you look at people like Kathleen Madigan.
Oh,
you
Amy
look at,
Schumer.
you look at Phyllis Diller. I'm trying to think.
Joan
Tick-
Rivers.
Tick Notaro,
I think
she's
Joan
funny.
Stiller, though, should get him some credit.
Yeah, she should get
really
more
did
credit.
break the mold.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just being themselves. And a man needs to be himself. And you just see Stephen Colbert now has been so castrated that he's more concerned with this little back and forth with Jon Stewart about getting in trouble with the networks. And we know that these networks we've gone through this. You can just search, well, not on YouTube. You can search on Mod Clip. Stephen Crowder Network donations, because we've gone through ABC, NBC, CBS. They all either have direct relationships with people who work at the DNC.
How
Most notably
rude.
the Clintons, they have their claws in everywhere.
He also has a direct relationship with John, being a correspondent
What's up,
from
girl?
the Daily Show.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about that anymore because now he serves a new master.
Yes.
And he's just trying to get away from the segment. While Jon Stewart is now echoing
17
what, keep in mind,
seconds.
would have had everyone here banned on YouTube if you acknowledged this just 4 months ago that COVID leaked from a lab. But I guess now we have license to because of the Fauci emails. So this is a long clip, but I think that you need to see it in its entirety and with context. Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert.
I honestly mean this. I think we owe a great debt of
Where's the
gratitude
GUI?
to science. Science has, in many ways, helped ease the suffering of this pandemic.
Let's see.
Which was more than likely caused
Either
by
getting
science.
items or money.
That's good. It's a great setup.
So
It's not opening.
Hold on one second. I have to play the pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to play the patsy for the higher ups.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to you.
I'm
So
all
what
for
do you?
spit takes,
But what do you mean by? Do you mean like this was perhaps there's a chance that this was created in a lab? There's an investigation.
Oh, he's still holding on to it.
Well,
oh my God!
They're not even
There's a novel respiratory
targeting me. Am I
coronavirus
broken?
overtaking Wuhan, China. What do? Oh, you know who we could ask? The Wuhan novel respiratory coronavirus lab. The disease is the same name as the lab.
And by the way, that's what Trump was doing with the Wuhan virus.
Oh yeah. And then they asked the scientists, they're like, "How did this? So wait a minute, you work at the Wuhan respiratory coronavirus lab. How did this happen?" And they're like, "A pangolin
There we
kissed
go.
a turtle." And you're like, "No,
Been about a
the
minute off.
name of your lab. If you look at the name,
Colbert
That's one of the most useful things I can get.
business
I forgot about the pangolin.
Show me your business card. Oh, I work at the
Free speed coils.
coronavirus lab in Wuhan. Oh, because there's a coronavirus loose in Wuhan. How did that happen? Maybe a bat flew into the cloaca of a turkey and then it sneezed into my chili and now we all have coronavirus. Like, come on.
By the way, this would have been racist.
Oh, yeah.
6 months ago.
Listen to this.
Wait a second.
All right.
John.
Oh, my God.
Wait a second. After the network's bidding.
There's been an
exactly.
outbreak of chocolatey goodness near Hershey, Pennsylvania. Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe a steam shovel made it with a cocoa bean. Or it's the chocolate factory. Maybe that's it.
That could be. That could be.
Or, now let me make sure
No,
I
that's all a lie,
cover our PC
too.
bases. Here comes Colbert to the rescue.
By the way,
Let me-
I gave them all tuberculosis.
That could very well be, and Anthony Fauci and Francis Collins and NIH have said like it should definitely be investigated.
Stop with the logic and people and things. The name of the disease.
Wait a second. Wait
is
a
on
second.
the building.
Wait a second.
It's on the
But
building.
it could be possible. You could be right. It could be possible that they have the lab in Wuhan to study the novel coronavirus diseases because in Wuhan
No,
there are
Colbert.
a lot of novel coronavirus
Which one's
diseases
Colbert?
because of the bat
Because of the
population
lab.
there.
I understand.
It's like the same.
It's a
wait a
local
second.
specialty, and it's the only place to find bats. You won't find bats.
No,
anywhere
it's
else.
like saying
Oh
why-
wait, Austin, Texas has thousands of them.
I can't remember who won.
Every night.
Is there
I've seen that many
coronavirus?
times.
An Austin coronavirus? No, it doesn't seem to be an Austin coronavirus. The only coronavirus we have is in Wuhan, where they have a lab called, what's the lab called again, Stephen?
Wuhan novel coronavirus lab.
I believe that's
That's
the case.
hilarious.
And how long have you worked for Senator Ron Johnson? We have to
Oh,
take
of
Come on,
course.
Ron. Yes.
Wait, listen.
We'll be right back with more of wherever this edit happened. Stick around.
Okay. So a couple of things. First off, right away, oh, Ron Johnson. Like, this is because he's still holding on to. This just shows you when someone's
I'm
an actual
excited
whistling,
to
a
play
lackey, right? A
the
patsy for the
Flash.
higher ups. Yeah. Even when everyone else has let go of the narrative because it's no longer tenable,
Yeah.
Stephen Colbert is still like,
Why is
Ron
that
Johnson,
armor
Donald Trump
familiar?
racist. And him saying wherever this edit left out is him saying, please network, get rid of this. Please network. That's what he said. And here's something, I thought it was hilarious. I really did.
Oh, I thought it was brilliant.
I thought
Yeah,
it was a
very funny.
masterclass in
Well,
timing.
He makes a good point.
Yeah, yes, he does.
I read it.
Almost like some other comedians were making this point for a while.
Yeah, sometime.
Until they were
made-
banned or hard struck.
Yeah.
So what
Played
is
the
interesting though is I did notice with Jon Stewart a little
Good
less
awesome.
willingness to commit. And this is something that's very new. We've talked about this. You know, blackface obviously there are historical connotations to it.
Yeah.
And it's different from, for example,
Virus
Apu.
face.
Apu, you know, doing a black voice,
Yes.
doing an East Indian voice,
Yeah.
doing an Asian voice, which people have tried to
That's
accuse
what it's
us
called.
being racist for doing Asian accents. That was never a thing. That was never a thing only a couple of years ago. And Jon Stewart, when trying to do, sort of doing an impression, or I guess more of an interpretation, an homage, if you will, of the scientists at the Wuhan lab, does like his Jewish mother's voice. Well, here's the thing. That's just because he's afraid now. Because if he were to say, "Oh, maybe Bat made it with the turkey," they'd be like, "That's racist."
Yeah.
And I can tell you that's the case because he has done those voices in the past.
The underground test took place in Huaderi, in the province of North Hamgyong. I knew I should have built in Pingwong.
I didn't get to.
So look, it's like we only had so much time this morning. But the point is, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think you should be canceled for it. Of course
God,
not.
this
But
is
just shows
Overwatch.
how far it's gone so quickly.
I don't want to
When
play
we all started
Overwatch.
when you started stand up, I started stand up. I started in 2000.
The hell is
Don't include me in this conversation.
2005, I think.
Yeah, it was
I'm an
Okay, so around
alien.
the same time. You didn't do blackface.
No.
Right.
Well, after my first open.
Right. Yes. Well, exactly.
You learned.
You shouldn't have asked Trudeau to MC.
Yeah, exactly.
You learn your lesson.
He said, put this
I'm
on, it
following
kills every
you.
time. I didn't know that he meant they'd kill me.
Ah, yes.
Why is
Were you still doing voices?
shift jump?
Of course, I
Were you
still...
doing- if you were talking about a black person, would you do an
What the
impression?
hell would I just do?
Yeah. Or an Asian person, or your mom. The point is,
Oh, there's
we
point
always
two.
knew.
What the-
Don't do blackface. This is very
The hell is
new.
that?
We're trying to move that over to window 2. Making jokes
Just
about
blew me
anyone
up.
other than really straight white males is unacceptable.
I would do an impression of who I was discussing. Like if and I happen to talk to a drug dealer and they happen to
Just
sound
right
black,
click to
I would
heal.
do my impression of that person. If you guys want to call it racist, fine.
Hey.
But that's what he sounded like.
Right.
It was never done out of like, let's just mock somebody. It's just people talk different.
Should have gone to White Boy Rick.
Sure.
No, and
Only
Eddie Murphy, I mean,
weapons.
in Beverly Hills Cop, it was just like, it was
Found a
funny.
bad
because, like,
guy.
yeah, you're-
Saw for no banana, no tailpipe.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to talk like a white guy to a black guy.
Right, or just
I
going
loved
in
it.
like, can you just tell him I got herpes
Fly
simplex?
at
And they're like, okay, you should probably go tell him yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to do this when I was a kid. I didn't realize that every time I would do an impression of a teacher I didn't like, I would cross my eyes.
Man.
It sounds stupid.
I thought
So the
I
teacher
had
sent me to the
a
office,
bunch of
right? I
teammates
was
right
talking to
there.
the teacher and didn't realize I was doing an impression.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
And this teacher, I won't say, Mr. Rudy, he used to have this thing where he would say,
I'll say it fast.
I don't know, he
That's
thought he was
correct.
really smart. Yes. He thought he was really smart, and you would say, and this is how it impersonated, he would say, you know what you are? You're a 12-year-old. Who thinks he's a 14-year-old? And I said that to him. I said,
I don't
you told me
seem
that,
to be
Mr. Rudy. He
appreciated
said,
around
you
here.
know what you are? He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I was doing the eyes.
All right.
I'm sorry. My bad. It was inadvertent.
Well, it's like anytime a woman impersonates a guy.
Clash kind of
like,
sucks. Kind of sucks.
We sound like the stupidest people. on
Right.
earth.
And that is
It's
generally true
funny.
of golfers.
Well, that's not true.
No,
You
how
suck.
dare you?
With the exception of Tiger.
Yeah.
I am
Ah,
a good man.
Good driver.
But here-
but
Good
did you
man.
see how he
Good
couldn't
husband.
he couldn't let Colbert talk? Because he knew if he gave 1 inch that he would be cut off and he
What?
wouldn't be able to.
He would come in
continue
like the
talking about it, yeah.
he would come in like the white knight he is, Colbert. I am anti-comedy man.
Yeah.
Let's
No one
do
shall
my
be funny
baby
in my
in.
presence. I'm able to
It's
destroy
called-
jokes in a single bound. I'm anti-comedy man.
Yes, do you like my visor tie?
Yes.
They sponsor me.
By the way, why is it okay to do Jewish grandmother voice and not any other voice? Like,
Because he's Jewish.
He's Jewish.
I
So
don't
he
think
gets
that's
a
supposed to
pass.
matter, though, right?
It is supposed to matter. You don't understand because
Ah.
you're a white male, and I don't want to hear one more time.
Is this
My privilege speaking.
Here's the thing,
Oy
too.
vey.
He was making a joke, and
Oy
you should be able
vey.
to joke about anything. By the way, you should be able to joke, I would say, about any conspiracy. The beauty of jokes is they don't have to be true. That being said, I think it's pretty clear that Jon Stewart was espousing something that a significant portion of Americans, nay, I would say a majority, believe that it leaked from a lab. Keep in mind, this conspiracy theory was not even allowed to be discussed, lest you be excoriated by the media.
At the top,
Only some of these
it's
clips are like
just
from
us.
4 months ago.
Because we don't know where the novel coronavirus came from yet, the conspiracy theories fill the void.
I'm telling you, the Chi-Coms are trying to weaponize this thing.
Conservative talk show host Rush
Implying
Limbaugh with
came
zero
from
proof,
outer
suggesting a
space.
Chinese bioweapon lab is the
Came from
Question
somewhere.
about the Wuhan lab. We know that it's been debunked.
Those same agencies now have been tapped with investigating one of Trump world's most favorite conspiracy theories.
This week, Donald Trump is still pushing the debunkum, despite his own intelligence
She fit it in
finding
twice.
that is simply not true.
And there is simply no reason to believe that that is the case. There is no empirical evidence to verify that.
You know, if you get all the people from those clips at like a dinner party and bomb it,
That's a good thing.
Like a photo bomb? Like to show
yes,
up.
photo bomb.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
of
Yeah,
course,
like a flash mob
I'm
kind
of
of.
course joking. Glitter bomb, whatever you know. insert it
I'm
here.
just serious.
I'm just glad they took that
I thought it
one
was
woman
going
off
to
the
say
series.
something like,
Could have fooled me. And keep in mind, too,
They were all
YouTube,
hating
the most
each other.
powerful, Google, YouTube, Alphabet, the most powerful platform in the world, banned any speech that would go against the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization, of course,
Damn
said
it.
this originated in nature, it's conspiracy, didn't
Yeah.
come from
You
a
did
lab,
that on
and
purpose.
they also said that the coronavirus was not transmitted human to human. Now, I can say that now,
Right.
but if we said it then, we'd be banned. This is what it, do you feel free? Seriously, do you guys feel free? This is absolutely insane. Just think about these things for a second. When we're
Do
talking
you
about the
feel
World Health
free
Organization,
yet?
CDC. And these are not just general.
You feel equal rights yet?
Yes.
These are hard and fast rules. They're not guidelines. Like we're trying to give you a nudge. No, you're not. No nudge. There's no nudge. You guys are telling us what we can and can't discuss.
Right.
We couldn't say back then that asymptomatic people with COVID were not very likely to
Well,
be carriers,
that's
but now the
done.
CDC. So we can say it now. We couldn't say then that children weren't at serious risk and certainly not of being carriers, and we should be able to open schools back up. But we can say it now because the CDC has confirmed that. We couldn't say then when they said masks are horrible, they don't work, and we would say actually, you know, the only thing they really do work for is keeping other people from getting sick, and we were selling masks here on the show earlier. But we can say it afterward. Right? This is the issue. You couldn't say then COVID lab leak, but we can say it now. This is what is so scary. And Jon Stewart is blissfully unaware of it.
Well,
you know who's
two
not?
big
Stephen
jokes,
Colbert.
'cause
That's the issue that you see right there.
it couldn't
You
have
see
been
someone
made
coming
in
from
lag
middle school
because
comedy,
it
and
just
sure,
doesn't
partisan,
exist.
absolutely. Jon Stewart was straightforward about
I'm
that.
gonna
He was a
get
well-known
banned
Democrat.
for saying that.
But he certainly wasn't
Low.
a pro-Orwellian censorship state. And he is unaware of the fact that up until a mere 2 weeks ago, really 2 weeks ago, this, if he were an independent creator on YouTube, would get him removed. Stephen Colbert is all too aware. And that's the contrast you see. You see one guy trying to be funny and one guy trying to rein him in who also claims to be a comedian.
Yeah,
And one guy who's gone out of his way to help all those first responders from 9/11.
Right.
I mean, he goes for things that actually matter. He's not trying to protect a larger company. He's always stood up for what he believes is right.
Hey, speaking of protecting a larger company and going in for things that matter, remember, Stephen Colbert took a completely different tone on
Let's
vaccines,
see what
basically providing free airtime as a commercial.
everyone else is playing.
When we poke ya, well, we know you're gonna be safe from COVID infecting you.
Oh my God. Fuck is that?
Not accurate.
Yeah, I know you're gonna hug and not worry, it might kill you. And we will shoot 500 vials and we will stick 500 more. This will be the max who shoots 500.
I hope this isn't playing in rehab. Guy's just trying to get heroin.
He's promoting name brand. Wow.
You could
All right,
maybe
that's enough. That's enough. I just had an
glad.
anti-comedy aneurysm. I never want to hear any shit from you again about big pharma or dark money in politics, Colbert.
You could have just left shit from him again.
I want to hear from him again. You can pull it back. Look, at the MSNBC, the end of her thing, when you said, "Do you feel free?" in your shirt, I think it says "Free speech matters."
Yeah, that's right. You can buy it at the merch store.
Yeah.
Anyway. My
Free
dad almost
speech.
got his ass kicked at the gym wearing it until he grabbed the 120 dumbbells.
I love it. Look, at the end of what she said, despite there being no proof. So what has happened is YouTube has such a heavy hand that I had a totally legit thought, totally factual thought that I did not say
Just now?
just a minute ago, because I couldn't tell if something was going to be
Whisper the
over
gist
line.
of it.
If there's no evidence on one side,
Careful, but just whisper the gist.
you know, the other side, maybe.
What?
No.
What are you talking about?
If there's no
Other side?
I don't, you know,
You talking about toast?
there's no.
It's being too
you
big.
know the thing, right? I'm trying to see. This is what it does.
This is the problem. Look, USA Today.
Where the hell they
I didn't know
swimming
that.
at?
I didn't know this. I had no idea until someone wrote. USA Today wrote a piece saying that the reason we were struck on YouTube was that I claimed, and I never did. I have to preface this, that I claimed that COVID was less lethal than the flu.
No, you didn't.
No.
Never claimed that. Now, here's what I can say. What I did say was COVID is significantly more lethal than the flu to the elderly and the immunocompromised. Now, I will not express any opinion as to how many children, because the context was about forcing 2-year-olds to mask, as to how many children in that age demographic who died of COVID versus died of the flu in any given year. Go to the CDC, make your own inference. I will express no opinions, but I have never said that COVID is. But here's the thing:
Don't want to
fact
play
checker writes something wrong, and you can't defend yourself
Italian.
because even your correct statement is impermissible.
Right.
Colbert knows that, and Colbert supports that. That's the problem when you have a lot of comedians supporting this kind of.
Right, and nobody can fact check you on that, right? As a Colbert, because nobody can come, even if it's a factual statement, because they've said that is off limits. Nobody can come in and correct your misinformation potentially.
But what is factual about shooting 500 vials? That's 498 more than they recommend.
Dave has a point.
That's a lot of vials.
Well, he's not a scientist.
Pushing for heroin.
Well, he's apparently not a writer or has them. That's the best you could come up with, is not change that lyric.
Why am I
And by the way,
sticky?
remember when we were young, we used to use the word sellout, and I thought it was overused. Like, oh, Green Day's a sellout. It's like, it was overused. However, when you
Sweet and
are
salty
on
bar.
air using your time as a comedian to sell
Cooking
name brand
simulator.
medication, at what point have we crossed
Do
the
you
Wayne's
need
World 2
VR
threshold
for
where
this?
Garth's wearing the Pepsi cap?
Oh, it's a
new print, little yellow.
That's not.
Yeah,
real.
or
We're gonna
such a
play
Weird
it
Al getting a
anyway.
call just like, no, I have integrity.
Yeah.
And I do like Weird Al. UHF, he never sang about
Nuco,
Moderna?
Pepsi Zero. I mean, think it's just so bad.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch those, it's even worse. It's the flip side because you always have those awful pharmaceutical commercials where they switch the words. So it's like the worst is Rocket Man. That's not pharmaceutical, but Rocketan. They're like Rocketan. Like I hate this. And I can't. And John Elton is still alive in your room. Elton John. He's still alive and you're ruining his legacy.
Ozempic. No, it's like it's supposed to be.
I can't walk around.
And now it's whatever that you're gonna
The
die
fuck
soon.
is happening?
No, I have restless legs. I'll take a pill for that.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, they itch. Well, you know what? You're gonna. I can't wait to see
It's
what
just
Colbert
like
comes up with for
laundry
modern
thing.
severe plaque psoriasis.
It's gonna be exciting.
I wait with bated breath. Hey, speaking of
outdoors.
facts, don't let this next one hit you in the teeth. YouTube, by the way, all of our sources, references are available.
Why
on the
is
website,
there
Click
random-
the description below. You may not like them, but at least you know exactly where we're pulling this.
And I think anybody at YouTube who
What
watched that
pot?
video, come on.
Yeah, bro, come on.
We can all agree on something. That was
Oh wow, it's cooking.
That should be impermissible, but these are guidelines. Over the weekend, by the way, so Sky News Australia. I want to make sure I got this right. I should have known by the accents, but I'll say it.
Sky News is amazing.
They had exclusive footage from inside the Wuhan lab, showing which goes against what was accepted and what was fact-checked again 2-3 months ago. Show that they kept live bats for gain-of-function research at the lab. Believe your lying eyes.
It is not a conspiracy to
That
say
guy
that we're
must
live
be
bats
fat.
in the lab. It is a fact. And as you can see, this video shows bats in a cage
Nope, not
at
alive.
the Wuhan Institute.
Not a bat. I don't believe it.
You can also see there a researcher feeding a
Food
bat
balloon.
with a worm.
Nope.
And in this image, we can see researchers out capturing bats,
Fuck,
and a
I
bat
already
even hangs off
did
the
that,
researcher's hat.
No, that was just the trend.
Where's that food balloon?
Mouse cages.
That was awesome.
Hundreds of them. We know that the Wuhan
Oh, I
Institute of
have to
Virology was using humanized mice for experiments to see which coronaviruses could
What,
infect
what,
humans.
what,
In
what?
some experiments, they used the humanized mice to make viruses
And
that couldn't
sandwiches.
previously infect
You
humans.
don't click
Do
on it?
exactly that. These experiments, called gain-of-function, aim to make viruses more infectious and more virulent
how it's
to try and
always
predict which may cause a pandemic.
It's
Yeah,
not
click
fair to
on
slip
these.
into that hat. That was a trend. People were wearing bat hats.
Ostrich eggs.
By the way, that wasn't
was a
really
thing.
hidden camera
Why is it all
footage.
two-dimensional?
That was like a
4K.
PSA for the communist government. Like, look, we have more bats. Hey, what's over there in the cage?
This
Baby
game
bats, more bats.
sucks.
Yeah, everywhere.
Hidden cameras don't pan in a Stanley Kubrick
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
I hate
Lab.
that.
Pan, zoom.
Just a 4-minute introduction with psychedelic
all of
colors
my
of
being.
Space Odyssey.
This is an elevator opening up filled with bat blood. Filling the whole hotel.
Like bat wholesale.
30,000 people gave that a thumbs
It'll
up.
make a commercial for bats.
Yeah. Bats.
Coming soon. Bats wide shut.
Pure Wuhan.
Nicole Kidman's Australia. She's Australian. Stranger things have happened.
Yes.
People think that Hugh Jackman's straight. So, by the way, this
No.
refutes the claim from the World Health
Oil
Organization. By the way, keep in
welfare,
mind that EcoHealth Alliance president, I never know how to say his name, Peter Daszak. Peter Daszak said that there were no bats kept at the lab. Something else that should be telling in a now deleted tweet. This is what Daszak wrote in December 2020. No bats. By the way, what's so funny is he capitalized bats instead of no.
What
No
kind of
bats.
thumbs that
No
in?
bats.
The wrong emphasis.
We're sent to Wuhan lab for genetic analysis of viruses collected in the field. We collect bat samples, send them to the lab. We release bats where we catch them. At least Donald Trump was like, he used the caps.
Yeah.
He stuck the landing.
He did.
And they're like, you suck.
He was the funniest
I
person.
get it. You
we've
want
ever had.
emphasis on you.
Yeah.
That
Funniest
dumb.
person.
Some of you will try and turn this and say, no, you suck, meaning me, but that's why I capitalize you, you. Suck, 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 suck.
Can you imagine being that wrong and having to go back and look at your capitalized wrong word?
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, do you remember where I wrote bats? Did I capital?
Yeah. Why
Oh,
did I-
they're gonna delete it.
that's because I use it's an autocorrect instead of quotations. I was quoting the beloved Louis Diamond Phillips picture.
Yes.
Bats.
Bats.
By the way, apparently his name is pronounced Dashak.
Dashak. You know what?
Is he a
Who
Star
is
Wars
that
character?
woman?
I'm not gonna.
No.
By the way,
doesn't deserve it.
we'll be taking your chats later on today.
Yeah.
Of course, at Mug Club afterwards. You can sign up at loudcard.com/mugclub. Again, I just, I don't know
Ain't
what it
nobody
takes.
got it.
This is where I really do want to hear from you.
What is that?
What does the government have to do?
I
What
could
do
play
state
Dungeon
legislatures have to
Quest.
do? We have Florida. Seems like Texas is getting in line here.
Yeah.
This is beyond people getting canceled, to use that word, for offensive jokes. We are now removing doctors. Harvard, Stanford, currently practicing doctors, not like
I
Fauci,
need a
from expressing
doctor.
opinions.
Wait, you mean doctors that have patients?
Yes, yeah, I know. It's a foreign concept.
I don't listen to them. I really don't.
We only
Look
respect
at my
doctors
body.
that don't make house
Just trust the media, Stephen.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just trust the media.
They know what's best for you. It's worked out well in history.
Here's the next story. I don't know how to segue into this, but it's just a lot of fun. Chuck Schumer spoke
Not
about
that
mental health.
loud.
services. This is how,
There you go.
this is
That's
how
a good
it was-
one.
This is how it was described, I believe, in the New Yorker or something like him and describing his plans for mental health services. I did not expect the clip when I did my digging. I don't know. I don't, here's the thing. It's a violation of YouTube guidelines for me to say what Chuck Schumer said.
Can you just
and it's hilarious. So if you search this right now, search the words Chuck Schumer retarded. And you will find all of these news articles reporting on what he said, but not showing the clip. So I had to do some buffering on a basement level podcast for about, I think, an hour and 10 minutes until I got to the part where he said pretty much exactly what you would expect a sitting politician to know not to say, but he did anyway.
And this initiative actually will house the homeless population that is actually living on our streets. We see them every day.
Yes.
We're about to house them, and they're against it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I have found that my whole career. They wanted to build this, when I first was assemblyman, they wanted to build a congregate living place for retarded children.
Wow,
it was against
these are homeless
kids. They just needed some help. You got it done.
But I am not level 32.
You know, I wanted to help the retards.
Yeah, you know, the goofball.
You know, the mushmouths. Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's just one of those things. It's against YouTube guidelines, except for when Chuck Schumer says it. Which, and I don't know if they're going to report it on CNN. It seems like actually right now, what is happening?
This is CNN breaking news.
These are all level
I am a spokesperson for Chuck Schumer. He would like to apologize for the derogatory term he used. He's sorry to all of the tardy people he offended, especially his niece Amy. Also, his favorite show was Life Goes On with Corky. Corky was also Waterhead, and you know, they're good people. I caught my wife in bed with one, and they have giant peppermint.
Can I do this by myself?
Yeah.
I get something if I lose, right?
True. At a youth retreat, there was a special needs gentleman who needed help after the shower. Yeah.
I'll say it, my friend Matt McClowry. I'll say it by name.
Yeah.
He has Asperger's, and that man, he's a table leg.
They deserve it.
You could beat a cheetah to death.
We have a bobcat problem around here.
Yeah, I saw it once on accident, and I was like, well, son of a gun. Look at you.
The good Lord giveth, and he taketh away.
Yeah, he takes away.
Giveth a lot.
Yeah.
He'll give you extra, but the brain ain't going to work so good.
Maybe that's why they killed Lenny.
Oh,
jealous.
Yeah. Also, how he was actually killing the rabbits.
That's true. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to have a third peg leg, George.
George, I made love to the rabbit.
I didn't know I wasn't supposed to hit the rabbit with it, George.
It's like carrot.
I just can't believe it. You know what? Comment below. I want to see if YouTube censors you guys quoting Chuck Schumer saying retarded children. So just find a way to fit in retarded children in your comment, and let's see, because YouTube we never censor comments unless there's like doxing or something.
Yeah.
But YouTube does auto-filter out comments. So I want to see. So comment and
Can
then
I
comment on each
aim
other.
more?
Let's just get the best retarded children comment. Not mocking, of course.
No,
retarded children.
I mean,
mocking Chuck Schumer.
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
it's a quote.
And part of this, if you're being honest, it's a guy who misspoke.
I don't care.
I know he deserves to be canceled because it's him.
No, I'm saying I don't care what he said. I'm not offended at all.
I don't think he misspoke at all.
I still stand by what I just said. Just because I hate him. Because you just want to be like, he's like, no, I went to remember I was at the gay parade? I love gay tards. Like, he's just trying to, he tries to do this to so many other people that he should be held accountable, but my reality is, who cares?
Right.
He misspoke. He was trying to talk about something that happened when he was young, which is different now, much like the word he chose to use.
Right.
But of course, everybody's going to make a huge deal of it.
Oh, God.
Well, I just want him to go away.
Why didn't I know I was dead?
I hate him.
Yeah, and I don't think he should go to a prison. I think we should sentence him to an insane asylum so that he can make a few new friends.
How about Snake
What happens when I die?
Snake Island. No, I mean, because I want him to be with the, with
It's
the
not
mush
like
heads.
it's
We
hard
should send him.
time.
We should send him to Cake Island because I hear there's a lot of them there.
Right. Well, looks like Fire Island's full up with the gay tards.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh no.
Here's another thing that we need to talk about. We have to be really careful with.
That's subjective.
Thanks, YouTube. And again, you guys should join up at Mug Club or watch on Rumble because that's what we can talk about.
You want to smash that Rumble
Oh, yeah,
button?
you guys can
do it.
You're watching on Rumble. Thanks, guys at Rumble. Get your live streaming act together, though, Rumble. CNN reported, so they even reported about this, the new investigation in Fulton County, Georgia, for allegedly violating ballot drop box form rules.
Allegedly.
Now, allegedly, here's what they don't cover in CNN. So they say this may have happened. It's more of a technicality, like icing. But Secretary of State Brad, so I'm trying to build this here so that I can use these sources and not be kicked off of YouTube. Does everyone understand what a shitty existence my life is until I won't name a date? Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, noted douche, his office confirmed the investigation to CNN, and he wrote a tweet saying, new revelations that Fulton County is unable to produce all ballot drop box transfer documents will be investigated thoroughly, as we have with other counties that failed to follow Georgia rules and regulations regarding drop boxes. This cannot continue. But maybe it shouldn't have happened.
in the first place.
I was of it.
Didn't
Like,
have that
well, hold on a
shirt.
second. What happened? Every single woman in your county was raped. This cannot continue. There's no more continuing. It's done.
I thought it was
You
fortified.
opened the rape Pandora's box.
Do,
What are you going to do now? The election is over.
Yeah.
This cannot. Like, you had everyone before the election saying, "Look, you need to secure these things. You need to make sure you're not broken chain of custody." Like, oh, then afterwards, when they're saying this happened, this will not happen on my watch. None shall pass, except for everyone who's already passed me. No, Riddling British Bulldog. They're all there. I'm horrible at this game.
And by the way, I love how he tries to cover for himself, like we've done with other counties. You've investigated 3 small counties for this same problem. When other counties, there's been lawsuits filed to try to figure out what's going on in counties.
Yes. So now
there's less to count.
Come on.
Just count them right the first
Don't
time.
act like you did the right
just
thing.
hire a count. That's
Good
1
stuff.
vote for Sidney Smith.
Just need some puppets.
2 votes for Sidney Smith. 3 votes for Sidney Smith.
I'm gonna cut my damn
4.
fingernails.
Okay, the game is rigged.
Put the garbage bags over the windows.
That's 2 hefty bags. So now that I've said CNN, okay, you can go to that original source at CNN, and then Brad Raffensperger, they have acknowledged this. Now I'm using, we try not to do this, a more conservative-leaning website, but they also have the actual scanned documents.
Right.
Because CNN can say it's a little bit of a rule, it's a form issue. They're not going to actually report on the numbers that we may be dealing with right now. However, it's acknowledged by CNN, Brad Raffensperger, so I think we should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, but chain of custody is important.
Yes.
That is one of the biggest things when we talk about elections, no matter if it's presidential or anything else.
If my half-Asian lawyer Bill were here, he would say, "Oh, chain of custody important,"
or something like that. Yeah.
So, so it is a conservative site. Georgia Star News reported that a Fulton County election official admitted a few forms are missing, which is confirmed by CNN.
Probably stop streaming.
Georgia Star
and go
News
cut my nails
previously
so I
published
can
the 1,180 transfer forms
leave
provided
the
to them by
house.
Fulton County. The open records requests. You can go and see these actual documents. I believe in PDF form. We have the link at louderbetter.com. That's 385 short of the 50.
Do I have a time limit? That's gay. Can I go any faster?
Wow.
With a damn pitchfork.
Right.
Are you kidding?
What?
I agree.
Twice?
Go to Mug Club.
Man.
Huh.
Hit the notification bell if you're on YouTube, though, by the way, because subscriptions don't mean a whole lot.
Oh.
The game is rigged.
Can we just have him back on Twitter for fun? Like, if he just promises to
I
tweet
know.
funny things.
I miss him.
Can we please have him back on Twitter? I loved it.
Oh, you mean the president?
Yes.
Yeah.
1 point per level.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing. And I understand.
World is this?
I understand the logic if we were actually dealing with a Mussolini or a Pinochet or something, right?
Sure.
If they were saying, hey, this
Or
is
not.
someone who's
I don't
actually
know what
trying
to put
to
in.
destroy democracy and build up a militia. Sure, that would hold. Does the defense hold water? Not when the Ayatollah and Maduro and Hamas are still on. No, it does not.
Why do they even have a Twitter?
Think about it.
That is
The
weird.
Ayatollah Khomeini
Isn't it?
can issue a fatwa against you, and he has, and Donald Trump can't say, you're a loser.
Right. By the way, do you think kill all the Jews, which is what he's said, right? We want to push Israel into the ocean,
That's
right?
what you wrote in the bathroom.
This is
yes.
what the Ayatollah has said, not me, not this show. Do you think that's a call to violence at all, or is that just merely somebody just throwing it out?
Right, yeah, Donald Trump saying, make your voices heard peacefully, fight like hell, is apparently not as much of an affront to the sensibilities as the Ayatollah wanting to Yukon Cornelius Israel off.
Yeah.
Good night, boys.
Giant plunger over there.
Yukon Cornelius really pissed me off.
You
Because he
think
went from
Twitter
gold.
is just for hating Jews?
Yes, that's what it
Like,
is.
what else is it for?
I thought that was what it's for.
That's why all of us are on. You mean hate Juder?
Yeah,
They just did the tweet to shorten it.
yes, the bird. You
It
know?
used to be called hate Juder.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
Jews in the.
Yukon Cornelius. So he bothered me because he went from gold on board to silver, a less valuable precious metal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Gotta have more of it.
I thought you wanted gold, Yukon. No, now it's all about silver. Like, okay, what are you gonna go to next? Brass?
What is he, Bill Devane?
Tungsten. Woo!
You want to invest in silver coins. So your grandkids are like, what do we do with this?
Thanks,
Silver's gonna go up.
Tom Selleck breaks through the fourth door. Yeah. This is my first rodeo.
Yes.
Buy silver.
Just sweeping up your dead grandma's silver. This is also mine. Yes. Thank you. I'm Tom Selleck.
I get a cut. Yeah,
That's mine.
If you all could leave, I'm going to take a dump on the rug. Thanks, Tom.
Love silver.
And we're going to move on to a segment that I think is really important. The Democrats don't pay their fair share in taxes. Now, let me be very clear. Any loophole that is available to me, I use. And I encourage everybody out there to
Everybody.
yes, legal loophole.
There's
What is a loophole?
There's no
illegal loophole. It's
loopholes
just crime.
in taxes. Think about that.
None.
There's no loopholes. It's either legal or not.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
That's right.
Don't you try and bring me down.
I saved
you
your
bring
life.
me down, you're out of a job.
Saved your life.
Okay. I did overpay. They owe me a refund. They'll get right on that.
Yeah. In due time.
I'm late one day.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys took $10,000 extra. Oh yeah, well that'll come some point. Kind of like my
interest or
Amazon
no?
Prime order that
Yeah.
used to be next day and now it's next
When?
decade.
Yeah.
Some guy just kicks the package. What the hell's the difference? Licking it, coughing on it.
Starts beating you, says white privilege.
Oh, wow.
All right. So before we get to that, I just again, everyone out there, I would just advocate. I would of course advocate that you pay as little in taxes as humanly possible because every single major Democrat is doing it, and we wouldn't have to do this if it were just a flat tax, which I support. But that's radical right-wing extremism, and everyone pays 10 or 15%. Okay. Before we get to that, though, I have talked about this. When people complain about echo chambers online, I understand they're talking about social media, and I do think there's a problem with that. And I've advocated that everyone out there set some bookmarks so you have a left site and a right site and a left site and a right site. So right away I'll check CNN before I check Fox News. I'll check Huffington Post before I go to whatever it is. It could be Bright, but whatever the sites are. And then I also have on my phone sort of a radio package where I listen to CNN, Fox News, and then I listen to NPR and BBC. Now, a lot of people believe that NPR is unbiased, as one would think of government-funded media. When I think of federally funded media, I think of media beholden to no one.
Free to say whatever they want.
But this
happen to very much enjoy it.
Yes, as we
I'm a big
discuss
fan of it.
the upcoming Pride Parade, march for the oft-overlooked but still a problem lesbian AIDS mutation that usually happens from having sex with dishonest homosexual men previous to coming out as lesbians. But what do you think?
I think when the viewer falls asleep behind the wheel, they or the listener, they should hope for rumble strips.
And
Yes.
please wait for the break to kill yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Please wait.
Hope it's quick.
Please
You'll
go
find
ahead.
You'll find a noose at your nearest exit.
Take
Or a lesbian Greek at the truck stop. So,
chug glass
Lesbos.
of pills.
An island in
That's their
Greece.
entire
and
show.
now we leave you with a wonderful cut of Stephen Colbert's Moderna or Pfizer. Sponsored by Moderna or Pfizer. But of course, we've set the tempo at 8 beats less per minute.
Moderna oblongata. Use your brain. Use your brain.
Okay, so NPR had a massive inconsistency in real time. I was listening to it, so what you were about to listen to, and I just want to see if you got, this is what bothers me, is the lies by omission. People ask me, why don't you often address Rachel Maddow? Look, we know where she lines up. I don't have a problem with someone being biased and being open about it. I have a problem with someone claiming to be objective journalism, or claiming that their network is objective journalism, that they are an objective journalist while lobbying for federal funding, okay? They're not funded by viewers like you. That's a lie. Some of you, but most of the viewers, you know Bernie's not making Sesame Street happen. That's why they had to go to HBO, and he pirates it. He pirates it.
Oh, allegedly.
Allegedly.
That man steals cable.
Purportedly. So NPR had a massive inconsistency describing crimes, and I will just say this flat out, blatantly racist. It's a little bit of a long clip, but I want you to listen to this all so you know there are no edits.
A woman was killed in Minneapolis last night after a man drove his vehicle at high speed into a crowd of demonstrators. As Matt Sepik of Minnesota Public Radio reports, protesters detained the alleged attacker until police arrived.
The demonstrators blocked Lake Street in the city's uptown area to protest the killing of Winston Smith. Sheriff's deputies on a U.S. Marshals Service task force fatally shot the 32-year-old black man June 3rd while trying to arrest him on a firearms warrant. Local activist DJ Hooker says a driver accelerated through barricades and hit several parked cars, one of which struck and killed a woman sitting on the curb.
A car came at us going like 70 or 80.
Oh, what happened? That wasn't the right clip. You didn't pull in the right clip there, Quarter Black Garrett?
Nope, that's the right one. That was good.
Oh, well, let's make sure they pull in the right clip.
Yeah, we can pull that in.
Let's pull that in a little bit later. We'll bring it back up.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
right now, actually, we have to cut it. Yeah, make sure, guys, I want that right clip there. What happened with that? They pulled the wrong portion of the clip.
Oh, no.
CNN right now announces, AG announces strategy to combat domestic extremism, which would have fit perfectly had we had the right clip.
What happens when your chief, the person who's behind all of the disinformation that's driving some of this domestic terrorism threat is the President of the United States? That's one of the issues that
Biden?
was...
Is that what they're-
was
oh, are they admitting that
shocking
he's the
to
former
FBI,
vice president of the
Justice
United States?
Department.
Exactly right. Well, no, this is a setup, right? So they're saying that white supremacy is the worst domestic threat that we have to deal with, and then they're saying that domestic terrorism is a big deal that we have to worry about right now.
Right.
And what they said, they listed out several kind of things that they were going to focus on. And one of those was finding people that are pushing this, and so they're going to use this as a pretext to come after you if you have a bad opinion.
Well, keep in mind that I've been accused, we've all been accused of white supremacy just in calling it the Wuhan virus.
Right.
So this is what happens when you say white supremacy is what? It's right-wing extremism. What's right-wing extremism? The entire Trump wing of the Republican Party.
Right.
What's that? The Republican Party. Therefore, all Republicans, and by proxy conservatives, are domestic terrorists.
Yeah.
Your Honor?
Does it make more? Yeah. Does it make more sense to you now? Do you understand why they will not move off of any topic that has to do with anything else? They won't cover it. They'll cover white supremacism. That's the problem. That's the issue that we have to deal with. If there's a mass shooting somewhere, they're going to cover it all day long with white if the shooter is white. Otherwise, they move on from it. San Jose, Colorado, both of those happened, right? And they moved on from it. Georgia, same thing happened there. It was the same story because they're pushing a narrative, and anything that counters that, they don't want to hear it.
Right. And I think, do we have the clip there?
Yeah,
okay. So this actually works perfectly. It fits in with what I just listened to on NPR. Speaking of, right, they want you to believe that white supremacy is the main threat. And you might actually believe it if you watch CNN or listen to NPR. Listen to the way they describe.
Or if you're an idiot.
These, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's a drip, drip, drip,
Right,
like
yeah.
a Chinese water torture or
True.
a CNN hour, where they want you to only hear one side, but it's framed really, it's framed in a way that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
It's framed in a way that sounds level-headed. I've always said this, I don't care if you're passionate. I don't care if you're a little bit spicy. I just want you to be honest, not just honest about the story, honest about where you are coming from. One rule that I have, for example, we reached out to 8th Street to have a conversation. Even if we have people on the show who I disagree with, I make sure they know ahead of time that there might be a grilling.
Yeah.
I make sure they know ahead of time where I line up because I hate when journalists just lie. We all have a point of view. Be honest about it. It's sort of like when you would have guys, when we were in grappling tournaments, they'd have a black belt and they'd go and they'd toss on a blue belt.
Yeah.
Because they just wanted to collect medals. Well, that's what a bully does. They just want to collect trophies, but they're absolutely meaningless. And of course, we know that the left speaks from a bully pulpit right now. So what they want you to do is only hear about the crimes at the hands of white people, which statistically are far less significant, let's be honest, in this country. If you're going to be the victim of a violent crime in this country, if you're white, black, or Asian, it's far more likely to happen in the hands of a black American. That's just reality.
Well, I gotta say, when I was getting out of my stagecoach today, some Irish hooligans took my pocket watch.
Before they sold day-old newspapers.
They did.
Read all about it, see?
I was like, did you just take the stack out of that thing over there, out of the machine? You
I've
put in
done
one
that
quarter
before.
into
I've
10.
done that.
Who
I'm
hasn't
sorry.
done that?
I told you to stop carrying pocket watches. It makes you an open target.
But they're gifts from Christopher Walken's ass.
So here is NPR describing two different incidents, and I want you to see if you can spot how they address race.
A woman was killed in Minneapolis last night after a man drove his vehicle at high speed into a crowd of demonstrators. As Matt Sepik of Minnesota Public Radio reports, protesters detained the alleged attacker until police arrived.
The demonstrators blocked Lake Street in the city's uptown area to protest the killing of Winston Smith. Sheriff's deputies on a U.S. Marshals Service task force fatally shot the 32-year-old black man June 3rd while trying to arrest him on a firearms warrant. Local activist DJ Hooker says a driver accelerated through barricades and hit several parked cars, one of which struck and killed a woman sitting on the curb.
A car came at us going like 70 or 80 miles an hour, and as it got through the first street, it even sped up as it got to the car, and it hit the car.
Video that Hooker took at the scene shows protesters detaining the apparent driver, a white man, and handing him over to police. For NPR News, I'm Matt Sepik in Minneapolis.
You're listening to NPR News from Washington. Officials in Austin, Texas say a man has died of his injuries following a mass shooting downtown early Saturday morning. The shooting left more than a dozen people injured. At least one suspect has been arrested. Austin police say they think the shooting began as a dispute between two parties. The incident occurred along Austin's 6th Street, a popular nightlife destination. A winning bidder is set to join Jeff Bezos.
Now we move on to the next story. So the first story, victim, a black man, right? Perpetrator, a white man. Oh, what happened with Austin? What happened in Austin?
Yeah.
That was a mass shooting. That was a pretty big deal in Texas.
Yeah.
It was.
No mention of race? Well, I'll let you know as to why. The Austin American Statesman, one of the premier papers, right, refused to publish a description of the suspect, writing, "The American Statesman is not including the description as it is too vague at this time to be useful in identifying the shooter." And such, and here's the thing, it is too vague, but then they sort of tip their head and say, "And such publication could be harmful in perpetuating stereotypes." What stereotype? He said it was vague. He was nothingness, and the black community doesn't need this right now.
Mumble mouth.
You can find it was a black man with long hair, and this matters because it should keep people safer. Okay,
It was a long hair, a hippie.
No, I mean it should be the same across the board. If you're going to say that a white guy did this or a black guy,
well, they noted it before: black victim, white guy. And then they're like, oh, we have to cover the mass shooting, but how are we going to do it? It's going to erase our prior good deed. I hope you'll forgive me, Clarence. Yeah. Let's just move on. Now, we don't want to not perpetuating stereotypes. And what happens is then people go out and say, every time there's a mass shooter, it's a white guy.
Right.
Well, yeah, because if there's any other kind of mass shooter, which statistically is not a white guy, you don't report it. You said it'll perpetuate negative stereotypes.
And right up until you know the motive for sure, you're hinting. If it's a white shooter, you're hinting white supremacy the entire time. But when a guy walks into a theater and says, Allahu Akbar, you're like, well, we really don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
It's mental illness. That's what it is.
At all.
We have no idea that is prescribed specifically in his own holy book and the only guaranteed way to go to heaven.
Back to you, Bob.
Oh, yes. In other news, terrorist goes to heaven.
Yeah.
72 women are displeased.
Yes.
Have
you seen these 72 women? They are gross. Nobody wanted to have sex with them on Earth.
They show up like, I promise you, I am entirely pure.
Yes.
I believe it.
Dave, the book says 72 virgins, not women.
Doesn't specify.
You never know.
Do I have to do certain things with these women, or can I just take them to the baseball game?
Yes, yes.
Do you have goats?
And they want them to sit right in the dugout when the blind pitcher is playing.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's good. Well, maybe they could be on softball team.
Yes, yes, that seems like it would be well suited to a
Terrible.
softball team or maybe an employee at Orvis.
Yeah.
So
very gross.
Yes, very disgusting.
Can I take them to the Crocs store and leave them there? I feel they are heavy and would be comfortable.
And plus, let's be real, that would be like heaven for them. Who are we to deny?
I think there's a thing with certain minorities, though, where over time, like let's say during 9/11, people thought it was Arabs, so anybody who was remotely brown, people kick the crap out of them.
Yeah.
If there's an Asian shooter, for example, like at Virginia Tech, I knew a lot of my Asian friends get really nervous because they don't know how people are going to react. I think that this is
I don't think that one. I think that everyone agreed that was a one-off. When there was one Asian shooter, people were like, no, that guy's not really Asian.
Oh, no, I mean, this is what I was told, though, by Asian friends. But, yeah, I'm not. But I think with this is, once you're taking it to a point where you won't identify a suspect that's at large, you're like, I don't know how to say this. He's very musical? That's
urban is the word.
If confronted, he may be able to run faster and jump higher than you.
He could rhyme to a beat?
Right. And can you describe the suspect? Had I don't know, a normal childhood, good at tennis.
Yes. Dad wasn't around. Maybe that's why he didn't.
If he were in White Men Can't Jump, remember Woody Harrelson? Yeah, the other guy.
The other guy.
Not Woody Harrelson.
Do I need to spell this out for you? Because I really don't want to get banned from YouTube.
Not Matthew Broderick in Glory. You could just look for him. He's out there.
I think that this man could procure a lot of narration work.
Yeah. For penguins, or really anything.
Yes.
Tea, or getting Andy Dufresne a pickaxe.
Seems to have a natural gift for rhythm.
Yes, very. Cuts a rug.
Yeah.
Yes, cuts a rug.
Well, really, it's a piece of cardboard that he lays everywhere he goes, but I think they call it a rug.
Yes. Speaks loudly on the phone.
Also at films.
On speakers.
Also at church. Speaks loudly. Generally.
Jolly.
Are you catching my drift, officer?
No,
I'm not.
Can you imagine if we used height this way to describe suspects, where it's like, oh, it's bad to describe somebody as either tall or short? We'd never find anybody.
Well, did you see that just happen this weekend? That someone spelled out Joe Rogan is literally 5'3" in the sky. And look, it's just okay. Is it kind of funny? Sure, I met him. He's not 5'3". He's not a tall guy. He's very open about the fact that he's not a tall guy.
Just the amount of money to go into hating somebody is pathetic.
Right, which I guess is what they thought was funny. Now, that being said, these same leftist activists, because they hate Joe Rogan now because he has the gall to have someone like me or Sam Harris or Jordan Peterson on, or anyone who's even
more success than them.
Right, more successful than them.
True, yeah.
The left is upset with them, and they are the same people who want you banned if you point out the unhealthy behavioral patterns that lead to obesity, which they describe as fat pride.
Yeah.
No issue with actually insulting someone for immutable characteristics, however, in height. And of course, in this case, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. His height to his podcasting ability probably makes it easy for him to tuck underneath that desk.
And as somebody who's short, though, I'd like to point out, not the least bit offended.
No.
But seriously, you guys suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can make fun of my height. It's fine.
Yeah. If I were to describe you to a police officer, I'd be like, where do I start? Short.
He's a short guy.
He's white.
All right. Hey, guys, by the way,
legs.
we do need to move on. Hit the sharing button, because sharing is counting right now. If you're watching this live, Twitter, Facebook, if you're watching it archive, you just hit that share button. There's a direct correlation with YouTube for some reason favoring that, because they want to bump us out of the top live spot.
Yeah. They don't like it.
Let me get to this. This is important. A lot of people don't necessarily talk about. What is this guy, Merrick Garland? Oh my God, they're still talking about domestic extremism.
Bro, stop it.
The seriousness with which we take this assault on a mainstay of our democratic system.
Oh boy.
The peaceful transfer of power.
Why is it always a guy who looks like he'd be the president of the Klan speaking about this stuff?
Yeah.
We've got to get white supremacy. Sir, is that a hood? Yeah, I'm
or
sorry.
president of the Swirly Club.
Against those who attacked law enforcement officers.
You know, someone woke that guy up at day camp with a shaving kit and a feather.
Oh, or a lock and a sock?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Just a roll of quarters and
just soap it up.
For crying out loud. Are you talking about the guided tour? The guided tour that took place at the Capitol? Look, this is one thing. Let me just say this. We've been very clear. Anyone who actually committed violent crimes should, of course, be prosecuted to whatever level people are prosecuted for those crimes. Anyone who trespassed should, of course, be charged with trespassing. But do you really hold people who trespass indefinitely in maximum security prisons like they're doing right now? Do we really see that as a system of justice? Are our is Folsom Prison right now just busting at the seams with skater kids who are grinding rails at private homes? We want to act like, come on, let's be real here. Really? They brought their, the insurrectionists brought their guns and used them? Did you find one?
Yeah.
Trespassing, and they're still in jail? And then what the media does is, look at these January 6th insurrections. Look at them complain about being in prison. What a pussy. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, because they just let out how many people because they had the sniffles? So what's he in for? Rape? Well, I don't want him to catch a cold.
Right.
Let's unleash him into New York.
Yeah, but then Kamala Harris and crew can basically set up funds to get people bailed out. But this one guy, I can't remember where it was, in California, I think, donated like $20 to something to get people basically legal representation, and he gets banned.
Yeah. Tekashi 6ix9ine, who is still apparently a rapper, was let out of prison after ratting out other members of his gang, and he sexually assaulted a minor, a 13-year-old, on camera, along with choking somebody unconscious, I believe, at a shopping mall. So I'm surprised he even had the forearm strength. So I'm gonna call bullshit on that story. He was probably like, yo, officer, yo, deputy, could you like maybe pump up that story for my street cred? Because I'm kind of a rat and they want to kick my ass. So this guy got let out of prison because he said he had COVID and asthma, and people who trespassed. Some of whom were on camera saying, keep it peaceful.
Yeah.
Not saying that the people who were violent shouldn't be charged.
Right. There's just a difference.
But should you still, if you right now, let's say, I don't know, march through a gated neighborhood in Missouri where people greet you with their firearms on their own property, letting you know that they will not allow you on their lawn, and you are on private property, would you expect it to be arrested indefinitely? What happened in Missouri?
Well, what happened at the state capitol in Wisconsin when they were trying to defund the teachers' unions, essentially? Boom. Love the shirt.
Yeah.
They weren't arrested. They came in, they marched, they sat down, and they shut the place down for a while. Yeah. Weren't they all arrested and thrown in jail? And we heard news report after news report about how dangerous that could be for democracy. No, you didn't hear a thing about it other than, this is a great thing. You shouldn't take money away from teachers, jerk.
And I also love how, by the way, they ignore the fact that right outside of the White House, maybe someone can bring this up a little later in the research bay there, out in front of the White House. Remember when they were trying to cave in the fence? I think they actually did break through one of the fences, one of the, I guess you would say, boundaries of the White House security barriers, like the metal sort of barriers, right? Yeah. They had a guillotine with Donald Trump, right? Yeah. And then there was the noose that they had there when they were going to Congress. It was very clearly a papier-mâché noose. Yeah. You couldn't hang a Wuhan bat with that thing.
How many protesters did the same thing with Trump? Like, we're going to hang him up. We're going to cut his head off.
And I don't add, for crying out loud, I went to the women, listen, if you have kids there, get rid of them just because I went to the women's march and I saw Donald Trump with a spread pussy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're getting mad about a noose?
I mean, it didn't heal itself?
Man.
I don't know. Apparently he wasn't using his medical dildo device. Sorry, I meant to say beautiful and brave and natural transition. Yeah, that's always lovely. Right? We go through a section. This is just a common operation. Really? How do you maintain your womanhood?
Well, it depends on how into it you are.
Just an auger upside down. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. Just for people out there, because a lot of people detransitioning. I know, sorry, I'm going down a rabbit hole. But you have to create a flesh wound, fillet your penis, like a Five Guys hot dog, because they split the hot dog down the middle, they put the bacon in between. It's delicious, but not in this case. Fillet your penis, invert it, and you have to reopen it regularly as a wound. Also, while we're talking about this is because it's beautiful. Everything that the left says is beautiful is horrendous. Fat pride. My aunt was here, who's a nurse. Yeah. By the way, my Aunt Shirley, favorite aunt. Maybe we'll get her on the show. Love her. That'd be good. She was a nurse. I don't think she would be. She struggled with weight long ago. I don't know this because I've always known her as an aunt who's pretty fit, but she struggled with weight a long time ago. She knows what it's like to be overweight.
Yeah.
I showed her a picture of this holiday. She said, yeah, beautiful. Do they tell you about the yeast infections? And I said, well, all women. She goes, no. Under their arms and under their love handles. She said, I work at the hospital. People that big come in with yeast infections because unless they get into a saltwater bath that makes them completely weightless, like a flotation tank, they can't clean it. Beautiful and brave. Make sure you double mask, but they're brave and beautiful. Okay.
Sourdough?
Yes. What? Selling it on Amazon. Get your kefir grains. And a yogurt culture for you and for you. I think back here I might have some lye. This is some soap for Etsy.
My body makes stuff.
Where's the YouTube button? You need it.
Well, I missed.
Hold on.
Is she over her anorexia?
I'm sorry. We have the guillotine. Right, let's show the guillotine right here.
Sure.
Yeah, bring that up. The wonderful guillotine. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, theirs was an actual functioning guillotine. Do they actually chop off the head? I never saw the video. I only saw the still. Well, part of me has to appreciate their game.
I mean, they go for it.
They really go for it.
That's good crap.
Can we actually see them drop the guillotine? Does that happen in the video?
That doesn't look functional.
Oh, it doesn't look functional.
And
mine would have been functional.
And that's in Iran? Is that correct?
No,
yes.
No,
it wasn't functional. They got a gender study degree. What were they going to do? Woodworking? And go work for the man?
Please, come on.
How angry are you if you build a guillotine?
I don't necessarily know angry, just pathetic.
Well, yeah, but it's a lot of work.
No.
It's a lot of work for not a lot of payoff. Like, I'll show him.
Guys, that is a direct threat to our democracy.
Yep.
Much like a papier-mâché noose. Do not downplay this.
Okay, absolutely.
Basically.
I guess it's a satisfaction you get like farting on an elevator. When you leave, you just know that people are in chaos and you have to take some solace in it, but you never really get to experience it. Like putting a razor in a kid's apple. So, whoa!
Indeed.
Is it Halloween already?
Indeed.
Today is second tax day for Texas, and I'll have to cycle through this pretty quickly. I just want you guys to know, hey, what did you do for your taxes this year? Did you get a refund? Anyone out there? Actually, a question that I have. When you have actually had to pay your taxes, you've always had to pay it on time, right? Have you ever paid a penalty? How long did it take you to get your refund when that happened? I usually get a refund because we always overpay as a business. That's something people don't know about a lot of businesses, small, medium-sized businesses, which basically means anyone, not Amazon or Walmart.
Right.
You typically overpay, and then afterwards you get a refund. And sometimes I've had refunds come more than a year later.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be electronic now and happen immediately. What are they doing?
I was using stamps and stuff. So today is the second tax day in Texas since the IRS gave us an extension after our power grid failed in February. But let me just go through the Democrats here. This is something that is remarkable. All of you should try and pay as little in taxes as you possibly can. So don't think that I'm condemning people through using the legal loopholes. However, don't do as Democrats do as they say.
And the wealthiest 1% of Americans have just begun to pay their fair share. Just their fair share. I think you should be able to become a billionaire and a millionaire, but pay your fair share. A recent study shows that 55 of the nation's biggest corporations paid 0 federal tax last year. We're going to reform corporate taxes so they pay their fair share and help pay for the public investments their businesses will benefit from as well.
Well, okay. It's understandable that he wants people to pay more in taxes because, $40 trillion.
Yeah. And Democrat.
Though I don't really understand why you need to charge anyone more in taxes.
Right.
When you just print more money.
Just print it.
It's all theater.
You got the machine.
It's like, what are you going to get to balance this budget? I wouldn't so much describe it as balanced as I would. We're going to take a couple trillion from the wealthy, and then we'll just print another 8 trillion and see where it goes. That sounds horrible. It's like your opinion, man. So you would expect him to pay more in taxes.
Right.
Or certainly he seems to be pro-tax. Former Vice President Joe Biden and his wife have actually avoided paying taxes for years. So this isn't a one-off. Yeah, let me read you this. Bill and his wife Jill, they made $13.3 million in income from book and speaking tours from 2017 to 2018. They avoided paying over $500,000 in payroll taxes by classifying the income, and this is a trick as old as time, and it's legal, as an S-Corp, or they filed them as S-Corp profits rather than taxable wages.
Yep.
So
they can pay it on a W-2 and not have to pay the additional fee.
That sounds an awful lot like the tax loophole that former Vice President Joe Biden and Barack Obama wanted to close.
Ooh, that's awkward.
I knew I saw it somewhere.
That's because it was.
If Joe Biden speaks and you've hired him, you do get a refund of sorts.
Yeah, especially if he comes from that house for retarded children. There's the cross-eye again. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
If I'm doing an impression of someone I don't like. What's wrong, sir? I'm doing my best.
I'll tell you about Putin. You should go take 1,000 off that check.
Yeah. I'm sorry. When you said talk, did you mean drool?
Yeah. Sir, are you having a stroke?
So let me give you some.
Yes.
And we'll be taking some of your some chat here on Mug Club. Let me give you some other examples of politicians on the left too, because people want to act like it's just the corporate Democrats.
Right.
It's just it's not the real progressives. All right. Well, let's go to the founder of the feast, the man who honeymooned in the USSR. You don't know how lucky you are, boy. Bernie Sanders, and the need for the wealthy to pay their fair share.
We will demand that the wealthy and large corporations start paying their fair share of taxes so that we can make public
90%.
colleges and universities tuition free and substantially reduce student debt in this country.
Right. Well, that works when you basically were a glorified student without actually attending college until your 40s, where you attained public office and suckled at the government teat.
Wow.
So him and his wife, they took over $60,000 in tax deductions, which doesn't seem like a whole lot. This was in 2014, but in 2010, Jane, his wife, and I remember this because I was raised in Montreal, where they had a Champlain College. Because I went to Champlain College in Montreal, but there was a Champlain College in upstate New York.
Yeah.
We used to see the commercials for it all the time. And I believe that's where she worked. She worked there, and I think she may have worked at some other educational institutions. She allegedly, and I say allegedly because the college shut down, but it's so,
Yeah.
She screwed it.
Yeah.
Bolstered donor commitments, and Bernie's office used that influence, which may be illegal, to secure $10 million in loans to purchase 33 acres of land for Burlington College. Oh, she was president at Burlington College. We saw commercials for those too. Champlain was more of a technical institute. Of course, the college ended up crippled with debt, forced to close, but Jane got a nice $200,000 severance.
She
As
got
she
hers.
resigned.
Yeah.
I thought when you quit, you just left.
Yeah. Now let's move. I'll just rattle on down. This is Tim Geithner, Obama Secretary of Treasury. He's also talked about the rich need to pay their fair share. Believe it or nice.
And that's the kind of balance you need. And why is that the case? Because if you don't try to generate more revenues through tax reform, if you don't ask the the most fortunate Americans to bear a slightly larger burden of
He
the
looks
privilege
like
of being
farting and
American,
it's coming out of his collar
then
and
you
he's
have
trying to avoid it.
the only way to achieve fiscal sustainability is through unacceptably deep cuts in benefits for middle-class seniors, or unacceptably deep cuts in national security.
Okay, well, he had to pay back over $48,000 after underpaying taxes from 2001 to 2006. So not a one-off. 5 years Keep in mind, this is all under the context that the IRS can audit, right?
Yeah.
Barack Obama used the IRS to target political opponents.
And they found this out when they were interviewing him to become the what was it, Secretary of Treasury?
Secretary of Treasury.
So
yeah.
he should be pretty good with these forms and money and finances. And he's like, literally, I remember watching this live. What about this tax? Well, I'll go ahead and pay that.
Yeah.
Does anybody else get that option? By the way,
what? I'm not gonna lie. I thought up until recently the Secretary of Treasury just guarded the Fed from pirates.
Well,
yeah.
Sounds a lot more fun.
Wesley Snipes didn't get that break.
No, he did not.
Not at all.
Nor did Willie Nelson. All of a sudden, Toby Keith doing a benefit concert is a requirement. So this is my favorite one. Current climate czar. What you're saying? Is that an official position? No. No, but he's been given it. Climate czar. Is there anything more broad and stupid? What are you in charge of? I'm not in charge. I'm a czar. What are you a czar of? Everything you see.
Wait, all the light touches.
All the light touches is my bullshit.
You're like a drug czar? Like you get stuff done?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I do nothing.
No, I don't really do a whole
One
lot.
of those figurehead czars, spelled with a T, not a C.
But I lunch at the Russian tea room. So,
wanna go?
During his time as senator, he said the federal government knows. No, don't bring up the overlay yet, because this is my favorite one. He said that the federal government knows how to spend your money better than you do. This is something he actually said.
A tax cut is non-targeted. If you put a tax cut into the hands of either a business or an individual today, there is no guarantee they're going to invest their money. There's no guarantee they're going to invest their money in the United States. They're free to go to invest anywhere that they want if they choose to invest. So government, yes, government has the ability to be able to make a decision that the private sector won't necessarily make today.
See, we're saying the same thing. It's just that you're an asshole.
You look at it as a good thing.
So here's the thing. I love that he talks about, we don't even know. They could go somewhere else. So talking about physical space. After all, he's a climate czar, so I guess topography falls under his purview.
Yeah.
2010, John Kerry avoided paying $500,000 in taxes by docking his family's $7 million yacht, the Isabel, out of state. I don't think, if you were watching the show, Revenge, or if you were watching, Dallas or Dynasty, where you have the ultra-wealthy family, I don't think you would make the evil corporatist villain. They'd be like, that's a little on the nose. $7 million yacht, docking it off state when he's a Democrat climate czar? No one's going to buy that.
And he's pushing for higher taxes because the government knows how to spend money better than you do?
Just think of how much money this guy married into. If he saved $500,000 in taxes on a $7 million yacht.
Yeah.
That means he probably paid something. Guess it pays to marry the ketchup lady after getting hit by a grain of rice.
Is he the Heinz?
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Here's my favorite, not really my favorite, but Ilhan Omar accused her Republican colleagues of irresponsibly giving tax cuts to, of course, the wealthy.
The other side and this administration will lecture us on the academic principles of fiscal responsibility and austerity by limiting deficit spending, unless it means cutting tax cuts for the rich.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how to approach this one
carefully.
But you know what? I'm going to go face first because it's a fact. I don't care if you don't like it. 2014 to 2015, Ilhan Omar illegally filed joint tax returns with her then current husband before they were married. Keep in mind, she was with her brother/husband at the time. So yeah, she married her brother. By the way, find a fact check saying that's incorrect. You won't find it. They just don't cover it. Married to her brother, illegal joint tax returns to save money. Did someone say double trouble? I think.
Oh, look at it. Scamps.
They are a pair.
You see the kids.
Flippers.
Oh,
all of them.
Just a giant squid. Chuck Schumer built a house for him.
Oh. They have to have a
Chuck
place to
Schumer.
go.
Oh, hi, little Omar. You need a house? I'm great at that.
You smooth brain.
It's kind of my thing.
You've got a goof brain and flippers. Come live in this house.
We got a pole.
It's mostly water.
There are a few Tinker toys in the back.
I feed you fish out of bucket.
Knock yourself out.
You like chum?
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
All right, now Hillary Clinton, of course, because she's so easy to hate.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
But she's a
Thank you,
wonderful
sir. May I
human
have
being.
another?
I was going to say wonderful at killing people.
Right, we don't want to be accidentally.
Yeah, better watch out for the
She has
suicides.
perfected the art of murder. It's more of an art than a science, the murder.
It really is. You think she goes in and just breaks the neck with her cankles?
It's her MO.
They have mind control.
She's like she has the Xenia squeeze from GoldenEye. Only no one wants to bang her. She's just like, come here,
Take it.
I'd rather hang myself. I'm on it. I'm fine.
It's like
I'll do it.
All right.
It's like the fists of 6 men.
So Hillary Clinton, of course, criticized Donald Trump for not releasing his tax returns. Here you go.
For 40 years, everyone running for president has released their tax
So glad I
returns.
don't
You
look
can
at that
go
face
and see nearly, 39, 40 years of our tax returns, but everyone has done it. So you've got to ask yourself,
That's blood, by the way.
why won't he release his tax returns? And I think there may be a couple of reasons. First, maybe he's not as rich as he says he is. Second, maybe he's not as charitable as he claims to be. Or maybe he doesn't want the American people, all of you watching tonight, to know that he's paid nothing in federal taxes.
Okay, well, let's compare those claims to what we actually know about Hillary Clinton. Financial analysts Lauren Doyle and John Moynihan of DM Income Advisors, they allege that the Clinton Foundation owes anywhere from $400 million to $2.5 billion in taxes. Wow. And they submitted formal complaints to the IRS. They speaking of charity, that's how they avoided their taxes.
Oh.
They claimed it was a charity. So let's bring this to how much did they actually give to charity. This is something I want to go through really quickly, how much all Democrats give to charity, because I think it's shocking. Let me ask you this out there before I go. Don't skip ahead. How much do you give of your income to charity? Now, I know, obviously, the Christian, we know the term tithe, right? At least 10% of your first fruits goes to church, and a lot of Christians do that. As a matter of fact, there's a book by I believe it's David Brooks, Who Really Cares, where he talks about people, and it's generally middle-income, red state Christian Americans. That's just a fact of the most charitable people in the world. The single biggest determining factors in whether you are charitable or not is your religious affiliation, namely Christian, and then your political affiliation, namely Republican. I know it goes against everything you believe, but we have the sources available at louderwithbetter.com. Democrats tend to be the least charitable. Now, I could go through a long list, but I'm just going to go through the list of people who ran for president within the last 2 cycles. Okay. Otherwise, we would be here all day. So the Clintons, from 2007 to 2014, Bill and Hillary actually seems pretty good. They gave $15 million to charity out of $141 million in total revenue. So that seems pretty good. But 99% of their donations actually went to their own nonprofit, the Clinton Family Foundation.
It is called the Clinton Family Foundation.
That's where we
put our money.
Nonprofit. You're going to start your own money laundering. Name it after yourself.
I would prefer it to Schumer's Habitats for Retards. I went down to New Orleans with Habitats for Mongoloids. What do you want from me?
Who is this? Who is this foundation built to serve? The name is on the building. The Clintons.
So most of the remaining 1% went to other Clinton-affiliated groups. I know you were thinking, like, where do the other 1% go? Christian Children's Fund? No. For less than the price of a cup of coffee a day, the Clintons can screw you too.
The foreheads on these dingbats.
Yeah, and I know what you'd think. A lot of overhead. They have no staff nor offices.
Well, it's hit.
Okay. Well,
that's the hitmen. They charge a lot of money.
How is it that
it's hard
easy?
to buy out.
How is it that easy?
Jail supervisors and security guards.
The office
and
is at Denny's parking lot in a briefcase.
Yeah, what the hell? How is it that easy?
They just drop it on a Harley outside of a Bob Evans. All right.
Jeez.
Literally, they set up a charity-ish in their own name and donated all their money to that and said, "Job done."
Here's the thing. I said $50 million of $141 million in revenue. Well, first off, where'd the rest of the money go? But still, 99% of that went to themselves. So really, $141 million went to the Clintons.
Yeah. Well, that was their income over the time that they had, right? $15 million was the donation that they made to charity-ish.
Is Chelsea still single?
Dave's looking to marry up.
Those hitmen better have dental and a company car.
They probably do.
Look, Ryan Reynolds, he's not cheap.
All right, let's go to Bernie, because you would expect, well, of course, people always say about Bernie, at least he's authentic. He practices what he preaches.
Man of people.
Despite being a godless atheist.
Well, in his gigantic homes.
Right.
Plural.
Multiples.
Only 3.
Well, that's true.
2016, after writing a book that made him a millionaire, and he told people, well, don't be jealous, you should just make yourself write a book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Write your own book.
Bernie gave $10,000 to charity. Less than 1% of his income, to be clear. Less than 1%. Now this brings us to former Vice President Joe Biden. And I only bring up former Vice President Joe Biden because he seems to be in the news quite a bit these days. From 98 to 2008, that's a 10-year span, Joe gave an average of $369 a year to charity. The highest amount he ever gave was $995. That's 0.3% of his income to charity. 0.3. The average was actually 0.1.
That is insane. Wasn't there a story about him trying to write off his used underwear that he donated to the Goodwill as well?
I have no idea if that's true.
I don't know if that's true, but I remember that story floating around.
But let's take that back to Hillary Clinton. Maybe Donald Trump isn't as charitable. As he says, he gave his entire presidential salary, all of it, to charity.
Yeah.
That's on record. That's on record. And this is one thing. Well, look, you want to say, well, maybe he's not as wealthy as he claims. Okay, so you want to condemn him for that. Say, ha, 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 you're not rich enough. And then you want to condemn him for not being charitable enough. He gave his entire White House salary. You say, well, you can only give that because you're so rich. Oh, I just realized that I screwed myself.
Yeah.
And this is the issue, too. I remember having this conversation with, and I'm not speaking ill of him at all, Mark Lamont Hill. I think we were on Red Eye. And he was very open about this. I was saying, look, the most charitable institution that we know is the American Christian Church. And like I said, there's this book called Who Really Cares by David Brooks. And liberals believe that we should remove that autonomy.
Yeah.
They see the government as the church. They believe that people and churches and individual charitable organizations, which, by the way, there's a form of accountability. This also goes back to the idea of a mass centralized government. For example, when the CDC gets it wrong, or the World Health Organization lies about a lab leak, more people get damaged. With charities, there's actually a rating system where you can see how much of the charitable contributions actually go to the people in need or whoever the charity is helping. For example, the most ironic one, Bono's one charity.
Yeah.
1% exactly actually goes to those in need.
What?
Yeah.
Bono.
1%.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he is number
But when
two.
you don't have any water, nothing grows.
The rest of it went to putting an uninvited album on my iPhone.
Oh, that's the worst. Or showing up to the middle of Africa and like, we're gonna sing for you to cure AIDS, and it's like,
They're
could
like,
you just
"We're hungry."
leave? You're making it worse.
You're making it worse.
We're so hungry.
Look, I know that you're just singing Vertigo on a loop, but we could really use a well.
Hey, fly bellies, I'm here to sing shit tunes.
Do you like it?
It's a beautiful day.
Nope, not for you.
Never.
We burned all the trees.
Please stop. It only hurts.
Please.
It's a beautiful day.
You're a dick.
1%. I hate how phony all these people are.
Right, but the point is you can say, oh, they 1%. Oh, whatever it is, Warby Parker or whatever, Tom's, I have no idea what they're doing. At least there's some accountability. At a certain point, if a charity is doing it that poorly, someone gets to the bottom of it, and you can choose a more effective charity. I would be shocked if 1% of the actual federal budget ever actually went to anything other than red tape and bureaucrats, but they see themselves as the moral authority. They see themselves as the arbiter of fairness. Now, not them individually, but the entity of government. Because this is the issue, right? John Kerry. We just went through John Kerry, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Geithner, Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
When you take away, they see everyone through the lens of race, through the lens of gender, right? This whole identity politics, it's designed to remove individuality. So when you remove individuality, guess what else? You absolve people of individual responsibility. And so they say, the government is the entity. The government is the entity that should write all of it. Not me personally. I don't need to give to charity. Think about that. Joe Biden giving 0.1% to charity. Someone stopping by his house saying, sir, you look like you're doing pretty well. You collected a few million from speaking and from books, you know, as you suckled at the government tit. Maybe you could give some to those in need. He might as well say, are there no prisons? Are there no houses for, what do you call them?
Sure. I just dropped holy fart-filled underwear off at the Salvation Army.
Yes.
Somebody's going to love those.
Does that count?
And this really, honestly, this is always what I've talked about. I always used to get so mad when I was a kid when people used to say you're a Scrooge at Christmas. People who didn't like Christmas, I'd say, no, you're missing the story. It's one of the greatest redemption tales of all time. And people miss this just like they miss it with Robin Hood. Robin Hood didn't steal from the rich to give to the poor. Robin Hood stole from the government, the monarchy, kind of similar to the government that we left and fought off. Remember the Boston Tea Harbor? Kind of a big deal. He fought a corrupt monarchy who overtaxed the people and stole from them to give it back to the rightful owners. Ebenezer Scrooge, before his transition and was visited by the three spirits, he was pre-redemption Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders. Are there no prisons? Are there no poorhouses? My taxes go to those in need and I can't afford to make a Merry Christmas. Then afterwards, he assures them that he will be giving more money and not a penny less because he understands that it's not the government's job. He can never count on someone else to do good in the world. But it starts with yourself. That's a fundamental difference in worldview, and that's why conservatives, that's why Christians, despite the stereotype, overwhelmingly, statistically, give more. And I don't know why the media doesn't hold Joe Biden accountable. If we're talking about Donald Trump's taxes, every single month of every year of his presidency, the guy who's making millions, the guy's the most powerful man in the world, wow, but giving $300 to charity, and none of you care? All right, well, I don't know if this is allowed on YouTube or not, so for right now, we're going to go to Mug Club and take your chat. YouTube, you know what to do.